Oh, wait, I think I did it. All right. All right, thanks, bud. Bye. Guys in the chat, can you hear us? You know what to do. Let
Make
us
some
know. Let
noise.
us know if you can hear us, and then we will get this live stream going.
Are we actually live?
We're actually live right now. We
Wow.
should be. We can talk about The Last of Us.
We
We'll
can
see.
talk about The Last of Us.
How does it feel to hear your own voice?
It's unsettling because for my job I have to hear my own stupid voice all the time. So I've gotten used to that part of it. But as I talk, to have another smaller version of me whispering in both my ears at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm a little turned on, to be honest. But I'll let go of that. I'm
Like,
just gonna think about baseball for the next hour.
Is this what people have been listening to all these years? Let's shout out some people in the chat. Eric, how long do we have you here for, buddy?
As long as you need me, right? We'll be here all night if we have
We'll
to.
be here all night.
So let's shout some people out. Let's see. My Eric son, coaster obsessed. That's my kind of party guest, if you ask me.
Holy shit. Miko Koob, Golden Eye. We're getting some questions that we had. Okay, so here's what happened today. Is I was on new Rockstars break room, learning to get comfortable around a new group of people. And then suddenly, Eric and I are here. We're live. It's just such a random day to be doing this.
We had a nice little drive down the 101. We had a great heart-to-heart chat together in a bit of Los Angeles traffic that I don't miss because I don't drive in San Francisco. My wife takes the car to work. I stay at home with the dog and work from home.
Have you gotten used to saying "my wife"? I'm still not used to it.
Yeah, I'm not used to it either. I love it. It's so good to be able to say because my fiance just feels like incomplete, right?
Yeah. Why you go from girlfriend to fiance and then to wife, and what always struck me as odd is the short. How it's one syllable.
Yeah,
that's always the weird part to me.
Yeah. It's short. It feels like there's something more coming, but no, it's like solid. It lands with a thud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Like marriage.
Good old ball and chain. Well, she's great. She's great. We talked in the car for a while about life. He gave me marriage advice because Eric is so much more experienced. He's got years.
I got a couple months on this guy, and I've seen some stuff.
Lewis Brown, thank you for the super chat. So yeah, guys,
Lewis.
we're not prepared. You know how we live stream. We go off of whatever you guys want to ask in here. Or whatever Eric wants to randomly bring up. But Lewis Brown, it says, "Oh my God, what a crossover! Hello from Scotland." Can you do a Scottish accent?
No, I can't do a Scotland accent, especially after that. That was impressive. I can't follow that.
My whole goal is just to impress Eric today.
I'm already impressed. So check that box.
I can. Oh
check
wow.
box. We got a few super chats.
I put slow mode on, and this is not slowing down at all right
here.
There's
not working.
Guys, if you are here in the chat, please go ahead and leave a like as we slowly get back to feeling normal and less disoriented. But Eric, you're barely down here in Los Angeles. Do you like it down here?
I love it. I love it. We so Kelly and I, for our honeymoon at the beginning of the year, went to Costa Rica, and just being in a warmer climate, because if you've ever visited San Francisco, it's perennial fall. So which is a great thing about it. If you could just live in somewhere and it's autumn, 4 seasons, it's the best. But you do miss the warmer temperature. I was in Los Angeles for 12 years, so just being in a warmer place in Costa Rica, Kelly and I looked at each other and we're like, we miss being in warm weather. But the warm weather in LA is not like the warm weather in Costa Rica. Costa Rica, the whole country smells like flowers, and everyone's very nice.
Yeah.
LA, you're in traffic most of the time.
Sounds like pollution.
And then the city's on fire, half of it. So, but I do miss the city of Los Angeles. I really just miss the people down here. It's pretty much every time I come down here, it's for work, and luckily I get to run into guys like Greg Alba, especially at like premieres and other kind of.
That's what Eric's always hoping for. Remember the first time I met you, I was like, he's so tall.
Yeah.
Do you get that a lot?
I do. I do.
Because when you shoot your videos,
right,
you're like mainly here.
Yeah.
And so you actually don't look tall.
I don't. Yeah. I think the kind of content I do, my self-deprecation, my slouching, my demeanor, how much I hate myself, everyone just kind of associates that with shorter people. But, there's a thing called the Napoleon complex, people. And that's what gives people undeserved confidence is when they got something to compensate for.
Sometimes the self-deprecation goes so far, it sounds sincere at a certain point. All right. Hello from Boston. Every time I hear Boston, I just hear the word fucking cacksucker.
So we can swear, because I was about to say we've seen some shit earlier. I'm like, I don't know what your rules are.
Well, I figured we need it since we're on the break room, and I'm like, you can't swear at all in the break room. So I'm like, we need to watch ourselves.
I think you can say shit. I just think it's...
There's just certain things you can't say. I love how it says 2 reaction goats from Jordan Bricata.
Hey, Jordan, that's nice.
You've become a reactor as well.
I don't think I'm a reaction goat. I think you are a reaction goat, because what you do really well is just authentic kind of responses, but your authentic responses are in themselves entertaining and fun to watch.
Yeah.
Whereas I think like my most authentic is when I'm just like, I'm gonna have to pause that for 20 minutes. I don't know what that is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what that character says. And Disney didn't put subtitles on this upload. Great.
But you got the analysis and the deep dive. Speaking of which, Erik is that's one thing we wanted to make sure we plugged. You got the deep dive channel coming up. And what's going to be different about it than new Rockstars? And we will get to then we're going to focus solely on the chat.
Yeah. So the deep dive launching February 17th. It's going to be a new channel in the New Rockstars network. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be me. A lot of you are asking, you're going to some of the other New Rockstars hosts. Nope. No, they're not invited. No, they are invited.
They can go to hell.
Well, here's the thing. New Rockstars is going to be the place where all the hosts of the New Rockstars family and our friends like Greg can come together and nerd out on stuff. But the deep dive, you'll see when it goes live, the type of content that we're doing there, we're not going to do a lot of reactive content. It's really just going to be my specific analysis into movies that I really love and movies that you really love.
Do you have the first one shot yet?
We have the first 4 things shot for it.
Can you tease one?
Yeah, I think I've announced 3 of them so far. So the first video on the channel is going to be a deep dive into Everything Everywhere All at Once, recent Oscar nominee.
Nice.
And I'm so excited for people to see what we came up with. I'm working with, it's just really a 2-person operation there. It's myself and Devin Cleary, who is an amazingly talented editor who during New Rockstars, like probably most surgent era from like 2018 through 2019, he was our lead editor. So if you look back at some of our biggest videos, whether it was our breakdown of Infinity War or the Dark Knight trilogy, Devin was really the editor behind all of those. So I was so glad that he said yes when I asked him to partner with me on this. But he's currently working right now and building just a beautiful layout for this, because we want it to visually look different too.
Sure.
I love making the Easter egg breakdowns from New Rockstars. I'm going to continue doing that with the rest of the crew over there. But specifically with the deep dive, we wanted to look at movies differently. We wanted to look beyond Easter eggs and just cataloging exhaustively every Easter egg in something, and specifically focus on just a fewer number of Easter eggs and how they best reflect what is the filmmaker's hidden agenda with a movie. And because I don't know about you, because you talk a lot about Easter eggs, I realized at some point I don't know what an Easter egg is anymore. People are like, oh, there's 207 Easter eggs in this. I'm like, there's no freaking way there's 207 Easter eggs in an episode of The Last of Us. Are you kidding me? But I think there are cases where things are Easter eggs, and there are times where they are just like director choices.
Sure.
That to me are far more interesting than whether a license plate refers to a number of a comic book issue.
Right.
I think it's way more interesting that in The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan put in just on the edge of frame Two-Face taking out one of the thugs and getting into the side of the car with Maroni. And no one saw this when they first watched the movie, but you have to see it on Blu-ray, and you can only see it in the side view mirror in his shot of the car. To me, that is the most interesting Easter egg. And that's the kind of stuff that it just shows that the director cares for attentive viewers and that they want everything to make sense logically. But with Everything Everywhere All at Once, there is everyone seems to be loving this movie. I'm so glad to see it get awards attention. And there's so many ways that you can appreciate this movie. It's speaking to so many different people. But to me, I think there is something that a lot of the people who are analyzing it, whether it's critics or other content creators, are missing. And it is that there is a hidden love letter in this movie from the co-director, Daniel Kwan, to his mother. And it only is evident when he is asked about this specifically in interviews, specifically the moment where Evelyn says to Joy, "You look fat," because she doesn't know how to tell her that she loves her. And to me, that opens up the entire movie as the specific tale of an immigrant mother trying to find her way home.
That's true.
And Kwan has talked about
That's a
how
good point.
the multiverse and the immigrant story have a lot of overlaps because there's several different life choices you could have made, and you're constantly reassessing and judging the choices you have made. And that like blew open my mind. And that's the kind of analysis that I want to do. And I just haven't had the bandwidth or the time to do this on the New Rockstars. If I were to make all the New Rockstars hit the brakes and just join me on that journey, we'd have to stop doing all the other content that I love that New Rockstars does. And it just felt a little too indulgent. And luckily, the company's been trying to branch into a network, and we were able to just like meet our goals. And I was able to say, like, well, hey, why don't you just let me try this out? I'll just do like 1 or 2 videos a week.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just have one editor who just works on this. And so far, it's been a great result. I think this Everything Everywhere All at Once deep dive is going to be great. We'll have a deep dive into, as well, we're going to look back at the 9 episodes of WandaVision.
Okay.
So I'm going to revisit my Mephisto trauma.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. And then I'm going to do a deep dive back into the 6 episodes of Loki. And really, because I think there's so many unanswered questions from Loki. And to me, that was the best of Marvel Phase 4. And as we look ahead to Loki Season 2, into Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I think we have a lot of questions about Kang and what the Dynasty's real agenda is. And there's a lot that we left on the table for Loki that, I mean, despite all the Easter eggs we found in it, there's just a lot there when it comes to what exactly He Who Remain's plan was. What was he trying to do? What was the threshold moment all about? No one can really answer those questions, but I think we found a really good answer that's going to make Quantumania and Kang Dynasty make a lot more sense. And then since we're launching the same day as Quantumania, I'm going to do a live stream breakdown.
Holy shit.
Because a lot of people are asking what goes on. How do you write a breakdown? And I'm like, I think there is a way I can live stream and take questions. So this is going to be like a rehearsal for that, what I'm doing right now. So we're going to go live 9 a.m. on February 17th. It's going to be a spoiler discussion. I'm going to go through the movie chronologically and just show people what my process is breaking it down.
Pirated screener pulled up. Yeah.
At that point, we can't count on that. That has been a big conversation. Like, me and Devin are like, how we are not going to have video access, and we don't want to pull any kind of like pirated bootleg stuff for that. So what we're going to do is like assemble. This is what we do. This is part of our process in New York. I think you have a version of this too. We assemble what we call a string out, which is we go through every trailer, every scene that's been shown on Jimmy Kimmel, every promo still, and we assemble a chronological string out of the movie. And a lot of times with movies, especially with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, you can kind of get close to having assets to cover everything. Yeah. So that's what we use. But I want to show people how that string out comes together. Because a lot of people are like, how'd you find the footage of this movie? It's like, well, it's because Marvel released it in their own trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that channel sounds like a big waste of time, Eric.
Well, so far it has been because no one has seen it. It's just kind of living in me and Devin's brains right now.
I got to say, look, Ty Friss, thank you for the super chat saying best collab on the planet. And thank you for the super chat. And Syed Diakite saying, I appreciate your existence, Eric and Greg.
We appreciate your existence.
We appreciate your existence. The entire time he was talking, I did have an out-of-body experience for a moment where I found myself listening and nodding to Eric. And then I wasn't actually listening. I was just like, he's just in my fucking home right now. This is like fucking weird to me. I had this weird experience. I'm like, you're just right here talking to me right now.
That's the experience I have every time I meet someone whose name I am learning for the first time. I disassociate from myself. I forget who they are for a second. I piss my pants.
It is a disassociation experience. Like, this is a weird, trippy. Like, he's talking to me in front of me in my home. This is bizarre. Yeah.
Well, it's such an honor to be here because I'll say I became aware of you sometime in 2019. You guys were so nice and reacted to one of our videos, and I was like, these guys are amazing. I love these guys. So I think I did a reaction to you.
Oh yeah, we freaked out. I remember that. I was like, everyone was hitting me up like, you got to react to this, and we all freaked out over that. So that was a great experience.
It was very exciting. So like, I think you do such a good job doing nice, appreciative reactions to things, and you guys, you do really good analysis too here at X.
Not enough people hear it, I think. we'll do a whole movie reaction. I'm like, why aren't enough people sticking around for the reviews? We talk for like 40 minutes. That is always my feeling. Instead of just being grateful for the fact that like 100,000 people watch this video, I'm always I just go down that path.
Well, what you guys do really well, and I wish that we saw more of this in movie YouTube, is just appreciation. And I think a lot of people, that's not valuable to them. They want to see criticism and takedown and mockery.
Yeah.
And I think that there is even unappreciated benefit to just recognizing the craft and the hard work. And I really think that comes from the fact that you're a screenwriter. Yeah. I've written screenplays before, but I've never sold or produced anything like you have. Yeah. So I think we know how hard it is to write these things and to craft these films.
Yeah, and I mean, when you do one set visit, you're like, wow, it takes like 30 minutes to set up one shot. And yeah, that's on like a good day. Sometimes one shot can take like hours to assemble. So, and I think New Rockstars, especially what you've done, that That's usually the takeaway that I'll have in a breakdown is like, you know, sometimes you'll cover something that I don't even like, and then I'll watch it and I'll go, but I like it a little bit more now because of what was pointed
What's an
out.
example of something that you didn't like that we covered?
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah, we did a breakdown of that.
Yeah, that was a good example.
Look,
for me.
it's hard because, like, you know, I think people, I
Black,
rarely
Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Black
We did,
Widow.
yeah.
Yeah, that was another one.
You know, it's hard. I think people assume that I like all of these things, and I rarely do negative criticism. I think if you want to see me get negative, you got to watch our Inside Marvel after shows, because especially after the finale of a Disney Plus show, that's where you're going to find me at my saltiest generally. But so I will get real there, and especially now that I'm doing live streams, it's going to be hard for me to filter it. But like, I get into this in the deep dive that we do for Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that movie made me really think about my relationship with my mom.
Sure.
And how important it was at a certain critical period of my life where she would take me to movies, and she would specifically take me to movies to escape from bullying I was going through as a kid. And after school, she could just see it in my eyes, like if I just had a rough day, because I would never want to talk about it. Instead of turning left to go home, she would turn right to go down to the Orange Park 24 AMC. Duval, Jacksonville. If any of you guys
Jacksonville in the chat, let's go.
You guys know that's where we would go. And she'd take me to see a movie, and like that's how I could just escape into my own alternate life path. And that's why I'm so into the multiverse. But my mom would take me to these movies that she had no interest in seeing, and would never say anything bad about it. I could tell in her eyes if she didn't like it. She'd just be real quiet. I'm like, Mom, did you like that? And she would always say, you know, it was interesting. And I would just try to get her to say something negative. I'm like, admit it, you hated it. And she goes, no, it was interesting. And I think that stayed with me. And now as a new Rockstars host, as a deep dive host, it's hard for me to hate on anything. And my mom doesn't come from the filmmaking world.
Sure.
But now as someone who has gone through the filmmaking world, I see how hard it is. And if a movie connects to someone somewhere, I never want to be the guy who makes them feel stupid for liking something.
Right.
And there's so much of that on YouTube. So I think it's harder, honestly, to take a movie that, you know, not everyone loved, like Black Widow, and then point out some really cool things in it that give people a deeper appreciation for the craft.
That is an impressive skill, and I think that's part of it's cool to see a channel be as successful that mainly distributes positivity, honestly. It's hard to find that. Because honestly, I'm on my own private time. I can enjoy a good drama video. I can enjoy a good like cynical video from once in a while. But no, I believe in the practice of spreading the love. And sometimes you do it, and people question like there's something wrong with. There was one day I shared like 12 YouTube videos of just of other YouTubers, and I got a phone call from someone that day going, "Hey, is everything okay? Something must be wrong." Like it's actually like an unnatural thing to spread positivity in this sphere.
Well, they think you're like programmed, that you're a shill. And I think people forget that like there is something to celebrate by the fact that movies can bring us together as opposed to tear us apart.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's what makes movies great, is that we can find kind of common reasons to love and enjoy something. That doesn't mean that we're brain dead. It means that like, oh, we're appreciative and we know how to stop and smell the roses and just appreciate something.
Now, I've promised we would focus on the chat 20 minutes ago. So we got to focus on the chat, Erik Voss.
Let's see what people are.
Let's go in here.
Sorry, we've neglected you, chat.
We've neglected. Oh no!
We love you.
Oh my God!
So much chat
I've lost the spot.
That's okay. Oh, we'll find it.
I got
all the way back.
How
to the
far?
top.
Oh no! I need to get this. I'm gonna go through the super chats here.
Okay.
Because I missed it, but then I'm gonna bring this chat back. Erik I'll answer one quick question. How tall are you, Erik?
I'm 6'2".
6'2".
Yeah.
That's an impressive number you got right there.
It's just the height.
No,
I might be getting shorter now. I haven't measured my height, but I think at my peak I was 6'2". You know, once you get older, you get shorter. So I might be like 6'1" now.
How old is your wife?
Same
age. Not old. How tall is your wife?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Tell me how old your wife is.
Yeah. My wife is shorter than me. I think. Yeah, I don't really know how tall she is. I think she's like 5'10", 5'9", 5'11", somewhere in that range. She's under 6 feet, but I'm taller than her.
Oh, that's great to know. Hold on,
what are you doing over here?
I got to verify my information because YouTube is making me verify that this is my account right now, which is just, it's perfect to happen during a live stream.
Get that, that.
Because I want to make sure we get to everyone's super chats, especially when you're here, because I know people are excited to see you here.
I'm excited to be here. It's so nice to be able to chat with people in real time.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
Oh wow, we have so many super chats. We gotta.
Yeah, so I want to make sure we catch up with some of them.
Yeah,
right?
Let's catch up. Let's catch up.
Let's catch up, and then don't worry, we will also be going through the actual chat. If you
We
can't,
will too.
if you can't super chat, that's not I don't want people to feel pressured.
That's right.
It's very much appreciated, but I don't want you to feel pressured.
Don't feel pressure. We appreciate it though.
Yeah,
we appreciate all y'all being here.
Yeah,
this is so great.
Please leave a like if you're here, and thank you for any comments that are happening right now. Because
subscribe to The Real Reject. We assume you've already subscribed if you're seeing this right now. But if you're new to it, if you just heard about this from the New Rockstars Break Room or from my Twitter, subscribe to The Real Rejects. They're doing amazing work here. I love all your content.
Thank you, buddy. Alrighty, so we got to get to Carlos the Collector here in the chat. You see that?
I see Carlos.
So we'll have to go back down here.
That's fine.
It's a journey we got to do. We got
channels have deeply rooted my love for anything comic related. Thank you for providing amazing breakdowns and some of the best reactions. Well, Carlos, thank you so much. That is what we aim to do here.
So Tony Garza sent in his very first super chat ever to us with a moment of silence. Thank you, Tony Garza. That's very much appreciated. Thank you, Tony.
How present of you, Tony. Thank you.
Bubba Brock says, a great collaboration. Yeah, I've been doing all the heavy lifting with all the talking here today.
Yeah.
I feel like everything you said about, actually on the Everything Everywhere All at Once thing, that moment is very profound. I have a Filipino. I'm half Filipino. My mom is Filipino. And then both my brother and I were like, oh, she reminds me. My mom's going to fucking hate me for saying this. She reminds me so much of my mom. And then even my wife, when we watched it together, she was like, I know who this woman is.
That's so great.
But there is something like culturally, especially when it comes to talking about weight, that is such a that happens a lot in I think in Asian culture where you focus on body image.
Sure.
Venom Carnate, thank you for the super chat.
Venom Carnate.
Having played the game, do you think if there is a season 2 of The Last of Us, the heavy-handed opinions would be the same as the second games? Well, I feel like how do you? I'm very curious. Have you played the second game?
I haven't played. I played the first game. I have not played the second game. I know what happens in the second.
So
game,
we will not spoil what happens in the second game for you guys. But I feel like if you look at how they've adapted the first season of The Last of Us, they've already infused a little bit more of real-world political commentary. And I think they would just kind of double down when they do adapt the second season. I don't know if the right word would be heavy-handed. I feel like a lot of times heavy-handed isn't open to interpretation on how you receive it. However, I feel like whatever themes and commentary were prevalent in The Last of Us 2, my God, you got to play that game. It's so good.
I know.
It's my favorite.
It's been on my list to do. Well, here's the deal. Yeah, heavy-handed is, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? But I do think what Craig Mazin is really good at as a screenwriter is delivering commentary in a pretty artful and visual way.
Yeah. And it's within the story itself.
It's in the story.
Yeah.
There are parts of Chernobyl that are preachy.
Mm-hmm.
But they deserve to be preachy. Something like what is the real danger of lies is the real theme of Chernobyl. And now I find this so fascinating. Have you listened to the Last of Us?
Not the podcast. Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to go there. Yeah, I haven't heard it yet.
He and Neil Druckmann have talked about how love can be dangerous, how love can be toxic. I've never heard that. Every other movie is about the power of love, how love knows no boundaries.
Yeah.
But this is the first time they're dealing with the story how unconditional love can be really dangerous. And that kiss gesture in a certain moment in episode 2 is a destructive kiss.
True.
But in a way, the character is on the receiving end of some intimacy that she was denied from other people. So I just find that interesting.
Yes.
As you continue to watch the show, let's keep an eye out for that. So, and I think that's just an example of it doesn't beat you over the head with the theme, and that theme is a pretty subversive theme. To say that love can be destructive, I think is a pretty subversive thing to say.
And I think when you play the second game, that theme truly carries over because a lot of I wish we could. I will not dive into it.
There's a lot more to say.
There's a lot more to say about it. But thank you, Venom Carnate, for the super chat. Bryce Burras, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Are either of you going to play Jedi Survivor? I'm 1,000% going to play Jedi Survivor. I want to replay Jedi Fallen Order first, but Jedi Survivor, I mean, the big talk is like, will Cal Kestis ever come into live-action Star Wars? Have you yourself tampered yet with Jedi Fallen Order?
I haven't played Jedi. I know what happened. I've watched a playthrough of Jedi Fallen Order. I did that before Kenobi just because. But here's the thing. I don't have a ton of time to game because I'm constantly watching movies and rewatching movies.
You got to get through the bullshit of the actual gameplay parts.
Want to.
Yeah, I get it, though.
I used to play so many games in high school, but I was in the IB program, and I just had to stop gaming. I had to give it up because it was my entire life, and I was like falling behind in my schoolwork. So I literally swore it off, and I haven't looked back. But like I've always wanted to get back into it. I just know it will take over my life when. I didn't say if, when. I do pick it back up.
It does. I've lost so much sleep and time just to actual gaming that now I only play games when I'm like when God of War's like when I know a trailer's coming back, I'm like, all right, I gotta replay this. I gotta go through it again. Resident Nerdman, thank you for the super chat.
Thanks, man.
He says, MCU who? Marvel movies what? I'm more of a GCU guy. The GOAT Cinematic Universe starring Eric and Greg.
Well, thanks, man.
Have you gone on another person's live stream? Thank you, by the way.
I've never been on an. I don't know.
Shit, I'm bringing the little
this
live
might be
stream
my
virginity
first,
here.
I've been on New Rockstars
Of
break room
course.
before. I'm trying to think. I want to say I've been on someone else's. You know what I used to do is AfterBuzz TV.
Oh, yes, I remember
AfterBuzz,
that.
I think that's live, but that's a live podcast.
Yeah,
I think.
that's a little bit different.
It's different.
This is different. We're talking with you guys. Lewis Brown, great accent. Must be my Scottish accent.
Yeah,
I was on a Zoom with Eric at the start of the pandemic on New Rockstars Discord, and he couldn't understand my accent then.
I think I remember you, Lewis.
Scottish racist.
That might have been for my birthday or something like that. We had a Discord, or maybe we just checked in with people. You know, I think we used to do some watch-alongs and stuff, but I appreciate your support because back then I think you could only get on our Discord by being a patron, so I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Lewis. Aiden Corey, thank you. What's AUD? Do you know what that is? You know what that currency is? I don't know what that currency is.
Australian dollars?
That makes a lot of sense. That's why you're the man.
I don't know.
Hey, guys, predictions of Gunn's upcoming DC slate.
We were just talking about this over on the New Rockstars live stream.
I have one thing that I feel like I have one thing that I think he would actually be attempting to do that I didn't bring up in the break room. I wanted to reserve the good stuff for here. No, I didn't bring it up in the break room. And it wasn't until I read the thread that James Gunn put out about like not wanting multiple universes right off the bat. And the fact that Batman 2 is happening, and I know he's praised Matt Reeves' work before any of this announcement and what the kind of filmmaker he is, I feel like he is going to attempt to at least persuade in some way Matt Reeves to let his Batman be the Batman of the DC universe.
He should.
Yeah.
He should. It was such a good Batman. Like, I think that movie, there maybe should have been some scenes that were trimmed down. It might have been a little long, but, like, I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
It was almost a flawless movie, I think. The score, I think it definitely should have been nominated for score and for cinematography. I think.
Cinematography snub is the biggest.
It's a weird one.
Yeah,
that was a weird one.
They're I think it's at the Hollywood Bowl. They're doing a live orchestra with the music for the movie. Yeah.
I gotta check that out. That sounds fun. Yeah. So
do you have one prediction of the Gunn slate? One out of the few he said he might reveal. Do you have one thing he might? Just one. Come on, give us the goods.
I think he's gonna cast a new Superman.
But he wouldn't announce that.
He might. I think he should. I think he will.
Just right away. Just like everyone shut up about Henry Cavill. Here's the new
think
guy.
it's going to be someone we know and love, and it would be undeniable to show some love to that person.
Finn Wolfhard? Huh?
I said everyone will know and love.
See, he's not always positive.
I love Finn Wolfhard. I'm saying to everybody. I don't think people are going to be like Mike from Stranger Things.
I say Mike from Stranger Things. Let's get it going. Or Timothy Chalamet.
Why are you going thin to win, man?
I feel like that would just.
I want a beefy boy.
I want to see him bulk up. I want to see Finn Wolfhard bulk up.
No, we don't body shame here.
No, let's do it. Stacy's Grape Soda, thank you for the super chat. Hey, this is nice. Lots of love from Turkey Boys. Thank you, Stacy's Grape Soda. It's very, very
Stacy's
soothing.
Grape Soda.
Oh my God. Okay, we do this, and then we bring back the chat, and I think we're caught up on the chat.
Are we?
Yeah. After we do.
Did we
this one.
cycle back around?
Yeah. Carlos the Collector. Thank you, Carlos the Collector. He says,
Thank you, Carlos.
Your channels have deeply rooted my love for anything comic related. Thank you for providing amazing breakdowns and some of the best reactions.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
Do you have a breakdown that you're like, that's my favorite one? If there's one that you feel like you could point to and go, I'm the most proud of that one.
I mean, the deep dive I'm doing in Everything Everywhere All at Once is my favorite thing I've ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm biased by recency. But before that, historically at New Rockstars, I really, really liked the breakdown I did of The Dark Knight.
I've seen that. It's with the Joker in the thumbnail.
The mirror, Good thumb. Gotta get thumb.
Good thumbnail.
But specifically what I liked about it's not like Easter eggs, because I think people forget Nolan's movies don't really have Easter eggs in the way that most people think of Easter eggs. What they do have are really great attention to detail and craftsmanship. And
I felt like the same way about your Matrix breakdown.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's up there too. Both Devin edited that one and the Dark Knight ones with the team. He didn't do them all by himself, but he was really leading the effort there. But we had some really great analysis in that Dark Knight breakdown into game theory, like the
Yes.
pirate game, the Shrinking
Yes.
Pie game. We were being able to look at logic, because that's one thing I love about the Joker in that movie is he's like really clever in the way that he
Sure.
tortures people. He's the prisoner's dilemma on the two fairies, right?
Mhm.
Like, so he's able to he's almost like an economist. That's part of like the mystery
Yeah.
of the character
Yeah,
is
yeah.
he seems to be like a past soldier. Some people were saying he's a CIA interrogator in the past. I think the guy was like a Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski economist.
More than
That's what I think
likely.
was his history.
I remember that breakdown pretty well. I think I've seen it like twice.
Thank you.
I'm actually a fan. Oh, I've seen some shit, Eric. I've seen some shit you've done, man. I don't need always a camera pointed at me to look at a new Rockstars video. I know how to do it.
Thanks, man.
All right. Oh, TJ Perry. I went to school with this guy,
Hey,
St.
TJ.
Charles. What up, guys? If you could pick anyone to play in live action, The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, who would you pick? Like us personally to play?
Oh.
Hmm.
I mean, for me, it would have been Bill, but Nick Offerman's the best Bill.
Yeah, that episode hasn't aired yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the trailer's out there. I didn't spoil anything. We know
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
playing. He's playing the character. He does. I've just as of now seen episode 3. It's
Yeah.
great.
I
It's really
think
good.
I think I would love to play Abby in The Last of Us Part 2. I think they should go against type
Okay.
and let a Italian Filipino man play Abby. Everyone's favorite character from the game. I think I can do it.
I think you could really do Abby justice.
I can do Abby. I can provide the justice. Yeah.
Cass Craig, how about you cowards?
I've always wanted to be liked, and I feel like I would finally get that approval from the public.
Yeah.
Once being
That will
cast
fix
as
everything.
Abby.
That'll
Yeah.
fix everything.
Duncan McDonald, thank you so much. We're back here in the chats. Pickle Brick, nice call. Oh yeah. Oh, Rick and Morty's a great reputation at the moment right now. I'm glad we're.
I think Rick and Morty has a great reputation. Some of the people who worked on Rick and
Yeah.
Morty going through some trouble.
This
Oh.
stream is all I need. Hello from New Zealand. New Zealand. Can you do a New Zealand accent?
Here's what I can do. I can start talking like Taika Waititi, but then it goes away real fast.
Can we get a preview?
Yes. Yes, Gore the God Witch is going to be in this movie, but I'm going to quickly make all the cool things about the character not part of the movie.
Slightly turned into Obi-Wan Kenobi
A little bit.
halfway through.
It started. You got to admit, though.
Started as
as
Taika.
Taika, and then Taika does.
Then went into Alec McGinnis.
And he can't. And the bad part is, I always make fun of him whenever I start doing it and how he directed Thor: Love and Thunder, and then I quickly look like an asshole because I can't really do a good impression of him. So
I thought it was wonderful. It was very, very impressive. Pablo Ruiz, nice to see you back here, buddy.
hey, man,
See, Dia Kite, your contents are both worth a lot. Big love, bros. Thanks, bud. Thanks.
you.
Thank you. Dance Productions. When do you think James Gunn will announce the DCU slate? Yeah, when the fuck is he going to announce
I
that
think
shit?
next 5 days.
You think like 31st at like 11:30 p.m.? I think.
See, I was gonna say tomorrow. Well, here's the deal. Here's the secret. So, the secret insight we're gonna give you about how Hollywood news cycles work.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so normally you get breaking news that the studios feel positive about on Monday or Tuesday
Yes.
because they want it to dominate the news cycle for a week. When there's controversial news that comes out, they wait till a Friday. Why? Because they know those damn reporters who work for the Hollywood
Yes.
Reporter and Deadline all have kids that they want to spend time with on the
Yes.
weekend, so they're less likely to spend the weekend writing articles and tweeting about it and asking for
Yes.
interviews. So if it's news that he thinks may be
It
controversial,
undoubtedly might be, yeah.
we might see it tomorrow.
Oh shit, that's a great theory.
I've just seen it.
It's a Voss exclusive
When you see
theory right there.
studios announce layoffs or things like
Yeah.
that, or announce cancellations, most of the time that news comes on a Thursday or Friday,
You could have made a video about that.
and we will.
Yeah.
As of now.
There it is. Hello from Washington.
Hi.
Who's gonna watch the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? So what do you think about these? I'll ask you. It's a side question, non-comic related. What do you think about all these remakes that they're doing? They're doing like the Bambi horror remake. They just did the Grinch one that came out.
Uh-huh.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I like it because Winnie the Pooh is now in the public domain, so
yeah.
they can kind of have fun with it. Look, I'm someone who likes Winnie the Pooh for what Winnie the Pooh was.
You
and I
seem
don't-
like the kind of guy who would.
yeah, although I didn't see the Ewan McGregor one.
As bad as what you'd expect.
Okay.
I liked it. I'm acting like it was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
I liked the movie. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
It's another movie where Disney's message is, don't be corporate and be with your family. That matters more than money. But this is being produced by Disney. That's always the ironic part about it to me.
I would say I like it when I don't mind when things get remade, but what I really like is when they find like the original essence of what the creator intended for it.
Sure.
So when they bastardize it or turn into something dark, it's like, well, then why not just make Cocaine Bear? And they do. They're now making Cocaine Bear. Great, awesome. I'm super excited for Cocaine Bear. I'm more excited for original content that takes just extreme concepts and blows them out of proportion.
That's why I'm so happy about the reception everything Everywhere All at Once is getting, because it's a movie that shouldn't be so attainable to a mass audience,
right?
But it is.
It totally is.
Yeah,
it's a better multiverse movie that goes to the far reaches of the multiverse, but feels so intimate and personal at the same time.
Because it was interesting. I watched Multiverse of Madness first, and I really enjoyed. You were sitting right behind me.
Yeah, that's right.
Right there, fucking scratching the pen, and I'm just like, stop it! I'm trying to watch the movie.
I write really loud, and I mutter to myself.
He does it like jot down like a madman, just like Doc Brown. Yeah. And so I watched it first, and everyone around me who did not like Multiverse of Madness would always go, "Yeah, but have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once? That's what it should have been like." And so I hadn't seen it, and then I understood the opinion then of why Multiverse of Madness went down a lot for people.
See, I think Multiverse of Madness would have been a better movie if it was called Doctor Strange versus Scarlet Witch, or the Scarlet Witch and the Multiverse of Madness, or take the word madness out of the title. Because, like, as a movie about the Scarlet Witch having a really bad day, I think it's great. Sam Raimi does a Scarlet Witch story. I think as those parts of the movie are the best parts of it. It's when it tries to be a multiverse movie, it misses the mark.
Yeah, Illuminati portrayal overall was a letdown.
But I like the Illuminati slaughter. I think
I get what
the whole sequence of introducing our favorite fan-casted versions of these characters and having Wanda slaughter them, I think was a brilliant choice.
Yeah.
But I think as a movie that wants to explore more of the multiverse, like I kind of wanted to live in 838 a bit more and not have it presented as just the jokiest part of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I think like they could have still had what it lacked in the script for me was there was a lack of true distinct personality for all the people in the Illuminati. They were kind of just like
it was all one character having a single monologue, but broken up in a different character.
And if you're going to put them all their dialogue could have been interchangeable between any of them, where I really thought like in order to make this work, you could have because they all just got stoic dialogue is what they were all given. And I thought they could have really enhanced it by just make each one have a distinct personality.
Have them debate. Have them bicker. You know? I think the one distinct moment we got was Xavier saying, just because someone falls and loses their way, which was a line from another movie. They quoted another line from another movie. That was the one time I was like, oh, these people are human beings.
But I thought it, like, before I saw Everything Everywhere, I thought like it kind of did live up to the madness on a first viewing. On the second viewing, I was like, I guess not. Yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, Doctor Strange.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
But the first time I was like, oh, cool, we got those different Stranges here. We got like,
and I think that's the only expectation a movie is obligated to live up to is your first viewing in a movie theater.
Sure.
Now, I am the kind of person who loves a movie more the second time.
Generally.
When the first time I'm watching, I'm always just so overwhelmed by it, and I'm just not even taking it all in. I'm looking at the spectacle of it, and I'm so easily won over or so easily disappointed. But every time I watch a movie a second time with like a different person or by myself, that's when I'm really understanding what the movie is.
Yes.
So maybe I'm full of shit. Every movie needs to be seen twice to fully understand it. But I'm saying as a filmmaker, they only need to win us over that first time.
True. That's true. Are you having fun?
I'm having a blast. This is great.
All right. I ask that in any conversation in life.
Am I having fun
in the middle of any hangout? Like, are you having fun?
Oh, yeah.
Are you having fun with me?
Most of the time I don't. Most of the time I'm super uncomfortable and like I hit like kind of a countdown in my head, like you know how Sonic in a Sonic game's like the music speeds up and you're trying to catch the bubbles. That's how I am in every conversation. Generally, I'm like, I'm disappointing them. They hate me. They judge me right now. I'm really bad at talking to them. I didn't finish that sentence correctly.
So you do get like a social anxiety as well.
Oh yeah,
because I have that all the time.
Yeah.
The first time I met you, I was like, I feel like this guy fucking hates me. Like that was always.
I'm sorry I made you feel that way.
I mean, I generally feel that way. Even the whole time on break room, I'm like, I am botching this.
Oh, you were great.
And
you guys need to check out him on the break room. He was fantastic.
One time on break room when the camera wasn't on us, Eric turned to me, he's like, "You're doing great.
I
was
thought
like,
you were doing it. That was a genuine.
Then it went to me going, is this because you can tell like I don't feel like I'm doing a good job?
All
right
I did
now?
is I noticed that we weren't on camera, so I was like, good, I can check in.
I get in my head about shit too.
You're great.
Ben Enoch, you should go on the H3 podcast. There should be. Thank you for the super chat. You should.
We would go if we were invited.
I mean, I think you'd be very much desired there. Iron Lamb, thank you for the super chat. Best YouTube collab yet. Wow.
Wow.
It's a lot to live. The best?
Thank you.
I think I've seen maybe some slightly. You could do better.
Yeah, I'll step up my game with the rest of this.
Are you planning on doing a breakdown on DC spinoffs on Noonans? What's Noonans?
We're not planning on doing that currently,
No.
not that I know of, but if the show takes off, we'll take a look at it.
Plot twist. Voss isn't there. He's in front of a green screen.
We don't use green screens. We use blue screens.
Blue screens. That's how I was able to put him in the thumbnail today.
Hey, that's something that I can share for the deep dive. So we use the blue dungeon background, and
Yes.
it was supposed to be keyed out in our videos back in the olden days, but we just didn't do that, so it became the blue
It
dungeon.
became a background. That's clever.
Now we're
yeah.
actually keying me into a different space. So when you
Oh,
see me on the
neat.
deep dive, I will not be in the blue dungeon anymore. I will be in a different space.
That's funny. Yeah,
So-
I almost texted you like, can you send me a photo? I'm like, wait a minute, he's in front of a blea screen.
Just pull it from anywhere.
Let me just find a photo of him in one of the videos, and I got this. You and me both. Easter egg used to be hard, but now Easter eggs are handed on a silver plate. I do miss kind of the days when Easter eggs were a little bit. Now it feels like sometimes it's sort of a perfunctory
Right.
thing.
Well,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really knows what an Easter egg is anymore. And, I think it's because there's a lot of blogs. I don't think this is YouTube's fault. I think this is BuzzFeed's fault. I think it's all the blogs that are out there
BuzzFeed.
that are saying, here are a bunch of Easter eggs, and then none of the things in the article are Easter eggs. It's like, oh, yes, I know that Black Adam came from the comics. That's not an Easter egg, despite you putting a 1 in front of it. So yeah, I think we've distorted what the intent of an Easter egg should be. It should be hard to find.
Yeah.
It should be hard to find and really cool when you do find it. There should
Yeah.
be some kind of satisfaction you get out of it.
Yeah.
Like I think the fact that people were saying there were no Easter eggs in Andor. It's like no, there just weren't. There wasn't a freaking Cad Bane cameo in Andor. That
Right.
Cad Bane's cameo in Book of Boba Fett was not an Easter egg. We all obviously saw it was Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Like
there
that
were-
doesn't count.
But there were straight up, there were Easter eggs there, but I
Yeah.
remember was Tony, is it Gilroy or Gil?
Tony Gilroy.
Gilroy, yeah. And Gilroy, he did say, like, there's no Easter eggs here.
I
there-
think he
there-
doesn't
but
know
there is-
what
So,
Easter
yeah,
eggs
that's your
Yeah.
point, is that, like, oh, maybe they don't even know
The
what
term,
Easter
the term has no meaning anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just so. Can we retire the term Easter
But
egg?
it's good for
Because it's
SEO.
so stupid.
It's good for SEO.
Well, now
good
we
for
got a
getting with
weird
search engine.
Christian holiday that's among the most used words in our SEO language.
It's true. I never looked at it that way.
It doesn't make any
It's-
sense.
The resurrection of Christ is prevalent everywhere now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just think I really, really love Easter eggs when they are truly, they have to be intentional by the creator. It has to be clear that someone put it there. It
Yeah.
can't just be like, hey, her dress is red in this shot. Red in every movie means the character's mad or evil. It's like, no, that's not what red meant in Turning Red. That's not what red meant in Schindler's List. You don't know how to do media analysis if you think that. But I'm just saying, like, you can't just like say, oh, that means this. So then everything equals everything then, if that's the case. So I think it has to be intentional. And my favorite example is in Andor, the very first minute of Andor. Andor is walking to that brothel. And he's passing by all these sex workers who are in their weird little bubbles. And they're like, hey,
Yeah.
have sex with me. In the background, you hear, ooh, bah. Ooh, bah. And I'm like, I know I've heard that sound before. And it is the sound of the maternity droid who delivers Luke and Leia comforting Padme.
Oh, yeah, yes.
They pulled the sound of a maternity droid comforting a pregnant woman giving birth. And to someone in the Star Wars universe, that is their kink. And I think that is
Yeah.
the coolest freaking Easter egg. I don't know if Tony Gilroy is aware of it. May just been Pablo Hidalgo threw it in there because he thinks it's hilarious. But I love that to someone, they want to go get with someone, and the sound they hear to get off is ooh, bah. That's a cool Easter egg.
That is a cool Easter egg. That's a good point. What if that this should be? I think that could be a good deep dive topic.
I think so. In fact, that was something
Yeah.
that I pitched, like just a true redefinition of what is an Easter egg and looking at the history of Easter. I mean, the first Easter egg, Ready Player One, dug into that
Yeah.
first gamer Easter egg of just wanting the artists wanting to give themselves credit and hiding
Yeah.
it into the code of the secret room, which I think is really cool. Is the idea. It has to be someone who's like a creator who's working on it, who's hiding some kind of deeper significance or some deeper meaning that's important to them and putting their stamp on it, putting their signature into something.
Fucking love that. That's sexy. Ooba. That's gonna be my new sex noise.
Ooba.
Yeah. My wife's just gonna be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
But why is it working?
Yeah. You turned on though, right?
I did say stop.
Y'all should smash. Can't. Wives won't let us. We ran it by them earlier. Nash Sanadiki. Have you seen the menu and what do you think? Got a reaction up on this channel. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
Watch it. We Jessica Clemens at New Rockstars did a short about a deleted scene with the food critic.
Oh.
On the channel. It's really, really fascinating. You should check it out. And I think New Rockstars may be doing a breakdown of
Full-on
it.
breakdown?
We should have done one weeks ago. We weren't really sure, but I really like the menu. And
Yeah.
I had never done the tasting menu experience until my honeymoon. Kelly and I splurged because it
Oh,
was our
nice.
honeymoon. We did a tasting menu in Costa Rica. It's the best food experience I've had in my life.
Was it like the menu?
No. No, it was far more accessible. It was just kind of simple food that, well, not simple food. It was really complex and just delicious. But like being in San Francisco, there's a lot of like foodies and gastro tourists,
Yeah.
and like you can really get lost in that world. I mean, people will like go to other countries just to go to these places, and so I've just in the past year started to be exposed to that. I'm not doing it myself, but I have friends who do. So it's just a fascinating commentary on that entire subsection because there's a lot of toxicity and problematic things on like the way those workers are treated, how little they're paid, how much they're abused. Watch The Bear. I think The Bear is what got me into it. Have you
Haven't
seen The Bear?
Haven't seen The Bear.
Check out The Bear. The Bear, Jeremy Allen White on FX, I believe. It's a guy who was from that world who basically had a breakdown, had to leave that world due to a family crisis, and had to take over the old family restaurant, which is a Chicago sandwich shop.
Got it.
And so he's trying to apply his experience and try his experience with fine dining, but just apply it to something that a lot of people don't consider very complex. But fine dining training can apply to anything that you're making, even a simple hamburger, as we know from the menu. So watch The Bear. And it's great. And he obviously suffered a lot of emotional abuse from his life.
Yeah.
Before that.
Well, damn.
Watch The Bear.
I want to know what you ate.
It's the only meal I've had where I remember every single because I
Oh,
repeat it
yeah,
back
yeah,
to myself
actually,
every
yeah.
night. Every
Because you
night.
might get questioned by the cook
It was
later
so
on
good.
in a couple of years.
Yeah, it was so good. It was kind of a secret thing. If you ever go to it, they keep the menu a secret. They're just like, trust us.
Really?
And that's how a lot of these tasting menu places are. Like in the movie, the menu, he doesn't tell you. Obviously, it was on the menu because that's part of the mystery of the movie.
I think horror's getting like that's something that we've been doing a little bit more on the Real Rejects. Is trying to cover more horror recently, especially with the term elevated horror, which I feel like is kind of an insult. To
I think all horror can be elevated.
genre in a weird way.
Was the Evil Dead not elevated
Yeah,
horror?
that's what I mean.
Crazy.
It slights it. Like Exorcist would be considered elevated.
Has it won awards? I guess
it's a genre. Like there's just genres of horror, and I think that with the rise of social commentary horror, I think horror has been like so much more interesting now to me.
But I also think good horror has always been social commentary.
Of course,
The Exorcist,
of course.
Rosemary's Baby had social, which is unfortunate considering the director of Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's one of the best case studies in gaslighting and rape culture is Rosemary's Baby, and it came out in 1968.
Well, the horror itself it's great that you can have an experience of fear in a way that is the most vicarious fear-living experience. Yet you can have such deeper meanings and that intense emotion. Like when I write, I tend to write it like even if I'm not writing a horror thing, I like to have a little bit of horror infused. And I feel like some of the best movies do. Like Jurassic Park is a horror movie to me. You know,
I think it's a horror. People, I think the premise of it is it's like Jaws. Jaws is a horror movie.
Yeah.
You know, but I think
like
my
Black Swan is like
Black Swan.
That's like a horror.
I mean,
movie, yeah.
one of my favorite things to look at is really scary scenes in movies that are not at all horror films, like Lord of the Rings when Bilbo goes.
Yeah,
like I love that. In Spider-Man, I mean, Sam Raimi's a horror director, but so he'll always try to put jump scares in his movies. But when randomly Green Goblin just goes,
yeah. No, Sam Raimi always infuses it. Lord of the Rings is great pull because there's a lot
Peter
of
Jackson was a horror director too.
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
Yeah, so that
he was supposed to do the last Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Really?
And then they did New Nightmare instead. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He had a
I
whole
didn't know
pitch
that.
for it. It was crazy, and then it just got released
I
recently.
didn't know that.
Raccoon Shampoo. I haven't seen your name in forever. I may have asked this before. Thank you for the super chat. Can't remember. But what do you think about making the DCU Batman into a TV series instead of a movie? Oh, interesting. I mean, Gunn does excel in the television realm, but
I think you can do more different kinds of stories, obviously, on a TV series. But I think it needs to be a limited run series, like just kind of an
Yes.
open-ended series. It's going to start seeing diminishing returns after a while.
24 episodes, 45 minutes long.
Yeah, it's also less profitable, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how much. I don't run a studio or run a network, so I don't really know what the profit is. But was Game of Thrones in a whole more profitable to HBO or to the Warner Network than like your average Warner movie hit? That makes a lot of money.
Oh, that's a fascinating question. That's
I would
something
say the
never thought-
series is probably more, at least Game of Thrones was, because it really put HBO subscriptions on the map for like 6 years.
Well, I think a series with a dedicated fan base tends to have a stronger merchandise
Yes.
profit than
Yeah.
a solo movie
Yeah.
venture does too, because a fan base for a show can be much stronger and much more communal than a
Right.
film.
It's trying to do different things, but I think like the big money in Hollywood is in movies.
Of
Like,
course, of
it's not
course.
in television
I mean,
generally.
I would love to see a Batman show, though. I would. I don't think they'll do it, but man, it would be cool to see a Batman series. Like a lot of people still consider the Batman animated series like the pinnacle of Batman, and like, are they getting into something? You hear the cats?
I hear some
You hear
wrestling.
cats, and I'm like, oh my god, no, don't be doing anything bad.
What do you think?
Get me in trouble
Do you want
later.
to see a Batman TV show?
But
Or
I
wanna
would-
see a Batman movie.
But I think I mean, it would be very fucking expensive. But now with television, like looking at The Last of Us, I'm like, you could do it.
yeah, they can. But The Last of Us is gonna be a limited run, and The Last of Us also isn't like a superhero story. Like
Yeah.
just all the stunts that you would need to make a Batman story pay off, all the car chases, the explosions, like
using a city.
that'd have to be a
yeah.
massive budget TV show.
Unless you kept it very, very hyper focused on just like real fucking
the
detective
work.
work.
Yeah. Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You could. I would just say like do a good detective story, but don't make it a Batman story.
Like the Batman could have
Do a
been
different original one.
the Batman could have been a show, but that finale is so big.
Yeah.
That part I'm like, I don't know you could do that on a TV
I just
show.
think there are examples. There's like good audio podcast stories that were Batman detective stories. There's great games you can do there. Like there's Batman the Animated Series. Just rewatch
Yeah.
that. Rewatch Batman Beyond. Like I don't need a Batman. Like just keep building out this Robert Pattinson thing. I'm enjoying this ride.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, I agree. Great collab on screen right now, live. That's great to hear. Indo Crypto.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Tony Garza, thank you for the super chat. You two are my heroes. Thank you for what you do. Us too. I like when I'm on the same level as Erik Voss. That makes me feel good.
I feel like we're on the same level.
Totally earned it here. Thank you. Everything Everywhere All at Once, having a nice discussion. No
Yeah.
movie made me bawl as like I did a reaction for it, and I've never uncontrollably sobbed like I have. Where I'm like, it got to the point where like this is embarrassing. There is like that's kind of the thing about when you're doing reactions is whole purpose is to be vulnerable when you're on camera. Whether that's share your excitement, share your love, or cry if you feel like crying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did get to the point on my Everything Everywhere All at Once where I'm like, this is embarrassing for me to watch. I'm just bawling nonstop.
I watched it in the theater with my now wife. We weren't married yet, and then I watched it on a plane recently just to rewatch it. And I had rewatched it before that. I've seen it probably in total 4 times or 5 times. But there's always 2 scenes that every time make me cry. And I think each time I watch it, it's more
The same
likely to make
scene,
me
yeah.
cry. And it's one is the shot where Ke Huy Quan when he's like in the alternate universe says like the rich guy says like, and you might know this now as a married man. He's like, I would have loved just another life, just doing laundry.
Oh fuck yeah, my eyes are watering.
And like for
I
those
just
of you
felt
who
my
are
eyes
married,
water
and
just go back.
I hope those of you, it doesn't have to be through marriage, but I'm just saying, like, try to find that person for you who you just are enthralled to do laundry and taxes with.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I love doing laundry with Kelly. I love just cooking. I love just doing dishes. She'll wash, I'll clean, she'll wash. I love just doing chores with her. I love doing mundane shopping with her. Like that is what the good stuff is in life.
Yeah. Sometimes I need to go to the store and it's just better when she's there with me. Kelly,
my God.
yeah. Prefer when
That's
Kelly's
where she goes all the time.
And Yeah, but my favorite thing in the world is just to watch like what do you watch with it? Oh, we got a lot. Thank you guys for everything in the chat. This means the world. But I do have to ask Eric, what is a show that you watch with your wife that I assume is not like some comic because everything
No, yeah, we don't.
a lot of what I like I watch Love Is Blind with my
Yeah, we watch The Challenge. MTV's The Challenge.
Okay, all right.
Because, Johnny Bananas,
Yes,
CT.
yes.
CT wears Johnny Bananas'
Yes,
backpack.
yes.
Yeah, we watch that. Now, we say we watch that. Kelly has it on. I'm tuning in, pretending like I don't care, really playing Wingspan, the game on my iPad, just kind of unwinding from a day of making movie analysis. And I'll look up and be like, who does CT think he's fooling? So we watch that, and then we watch Great British Baking Show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, or
nice.
Bake Off if you're in the UK.
Have you seen Nailed It?
No.
The Netflix show Nailed It?
No.
It's a baking show.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Nailed it.
It was huge for a while.
Oh, we gotta check it out.
I don't know how to explain it efficiently.
Is that what you watch with your
I
missus?
used to. I'm actually showing her Breaking Bad right now.
Oh, fun.
Just got to the final episode of season 3. She's never seen it. I've been trying to convince her for years to watch it.
See, we did that when we first started dating. We rewatched Breaking Bad on Netflix.
Nice.
Now we wanted to. We had also done it with Mad Men, and we want to go back and rewatch Mad Men. But now you can only find it somewhere, like through Amazon. You have to watch commercials. The commercials are so damn long. So we're like, damn it, no, we're gonna give it up. We're not gonna sit through the commercials. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Speaking of which, I'm gonna run a mid-roll right now.
Okay, here
No,
we
no,
go.
I'm just joking.
Sponsored by Blue Chew. Do you wish you had a boner that never ever went away?
One day, Coy and Eric will see
Coy!
see each other in person.
Can we call Coy?
Just call
I love Coy.
Just see Coy in person.
That guy's great.
You guys have never shared the camera together, have
We
you?
haven't. We haven't. It's like we might be the same person.
That would be intense.
That would be insane. Just one of us suddenly gets really handsome
I would
and
love
becomes coy and slightly more knowledgeable about a lot of things and just more likable in general. And then it reverts to slime, and that's who I am.
That I would love to. I think that could break the internet. You and Coy in the same video together.
We should. Yeah.
There's almost Mota awesome. There's almost a year gap between the Marvels and the next MCU movie. I don't feel like the Marvels getting enough love. I did
know.
like your interview you did with Iman Vellani.
This is like my favorite thing that I did in
Yeah.
2022, other than get
How
married.
did
but
how did
whatever.
that happen? How did that go about? Was that your doing?
She reached out to us.
No shit.
So we had done some. I think it was the first time we'd ever gotten junket interviews because you
Yeah.
can get in that game sometimes where they'll put you on a list of like 40 different outlets.
Yeah.
And you get to just wait in the waiting
You
room.
wait in
and
the
then
Zoom room for
You
hours.
wait in the
yeah.
Zoom room for hours, and then you interview someone who's like 8th build on a show.
Yeah.
But we love doing that. We want to do more of it.
We
So
wanna interview
people in
8th build
charge
more
of
often.
the studios, Warner, Disney, Sony, we will do all of it. We won't say no to any of it. But anyway, we were doing that for Ms. Marvel. And Iman Vellani watched New Rockstars. I bet she watches Real Rejects too. She watches all of it. She's
we
a
were
big
so
fan of all of it.
positive about her show.
Yeah, so I think she watches a lot of this stuff. She's on the Marvel Studios spoilers subreddit. She's everywhere. She's a big, true nerd of this stuff. She's got her notebook and it's filled with like questions of Marvel
Yeah.
Studios lore. So she watched New Rockstars, and when we did our first trailer reaction or breakdown, I got like message. The guy who plays the older brother was on a sketch team at the UCB Theater in LA with a friend of ours. And he said, hey, so we have this mutual Facebook friend. He reached out. He's like, hey, so everyone on the Ms. Marvel cast watched your breakdown and loved
No
it.
way, really.
Including Iman. And then he's like, Iman's not on social media. As soon as she got cast in Marvel stuff, they're like, don't go on Twitter.
Yeah. Of course,
Take
of
down your
course,
Twitter, take down your
course.
Instagram, take it all down. So you can't find her anywhere on Twitter, but she probably has some lurker accounts, would be my guess. And so she watched our breakdown, as a huge fan of it. And so after we had done the junket interviews, the Disney press person reached back out and said, hey, Iman is interested in doing a
That's
one-on-one interview with
amazing.
you. And I'm like, yes. He's like,
That's
it would just have to be
amazing.
after Ms. Marvel came out. And I'm like, whenever she wants to do
Yeah.
it, we will do it. It could be years from now, but we'll put it on the books. And so she was so kind. And we had this great interview. And, the best interviews, I assume you've done a lot of interviews.
Decent
And this is how I feel right now. You let go of whatever plan you had going into it and you just talk.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's how I felt with Iman. I had a list of questions, but like we just started just talking about
Real
MCU
vibing.
trivia after a bit.
and that's
then
hard to find via Zoom.
most of the time it's hard to
On Zoom especially.
You know,
leave, leave a like if you're here, by the way.
Yeah, leave a like, leave a subscribe,
Yeah. Well,
leave a watch.
I do. I
leave a
don't.
view.
I don't wonder how you feel about this. I think. Yeah, we got some good questions here. We got to get to them.
Yeah.
I think that Iman Vellani is one of the most underappreciated casting choices in the
She was
MCU.
good.
Like she is that character. I like beyond just like Amon Vellani's playing herself. That's not what I'm saying. It's like she's one of those people that right when you meet that character, you just see and feel, and it's a full 3-dimensional performance from beginning to end. And I feel like she does not get enough credit for being one of the most apt, best casting choices ever. And
Especially for younger characters
Yeah,
in the MCU.
I
A
think
lot of
it's
times
very
they don't really
underrecognized.
get it right. And I think they really did get it right with Iman. I think she inhabits the role of Kamala Khan. And it's not an easy role to play because
No.
so much of the character's likability is just on their personality.
Yeah.
And
And-
she pulls it off. She
But she brings the depth too, without
Uh-huh.
without weighing too much into the depth, like being gravitas heavy all the time.
Yeah.
Like she's not trying to oversell the drama.
No,
you know?
she's
Like,
not. But the character of Kamala Khan is a fan of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Avengers. And I
Yeah.
think they made such a smart choice casting Iman Vellani because she is a true fan of
She's
the Marvel
amazing.
movies. And you can see that in her work. And yeah, it's not easy to play yourself. As soon as you get on a set in front
Yeah.
of with cameras, like you can't just be charming
Yeah.
immediately. It's awkward. It's an unnatural experience. So to be able to like have that confidence and to play that character naturally is like a
Yeah.
real gift and a real talent. And like Michael Caine is not playing characters. He is playing himself. But I love him, and I think he's an amazing actor because he makes that charming and interesting every time he's in a scene. He takes it over. He's great.
Completely agree. I love Amon Vellani's work especially, though. I
Yeah.
think she deserves more credit. She's the main reason I'm excited for the Marvels. Who is Ravonna to be to He Who Remains? Does Kang already love her?
I think he does. I
Yes.
think they used to be in a relationship, and she doesn't remember it anymore. And I think it's an Eternal Sunshine thing. Hey, watch our Loki deep dive. I'm going to get into all that stuff. I think the term for all time always is for how long Kang will love Ravonna. That's my
All right, nice to hear. Someone
He's
got
like, okay.
yeah, all right, moving on to this Disneyland question, Eric. Do you remember people? How often do you get recognized when you go out in public? Is it a very
It's not
common
always.
thing?
Sometimes, most of the time, people are just like, get out of the way. Your dog
You're
is
tall.
barking at me.
Move, please.
But sometimes, I mean, when we go to the movies, when we go to Disney, yeah, we're gonna meet more because that's
Yeah.
where the fans are. So, or not fans of New Rockstars, just fans of these things. So,
I would love to we should just go around in public together, and then count who gets recognized more.
no, we're
And
not doing
I'm
that.
sure you would win by a
We're not doing that.
massive landslide. Here.
But yeah, Lane, I see your comment. It was really nice to meet you as well at Disneyland. We're dying to go back to check it out sometime in the new year, but we're in the new year now. I keep thinking I'm in December, but yeah. When we were last at Disneyland, Kelly started to keep score. I was like, "Why are you keeping score?" She's like, "I'm just gonna keep score." And then she was wearing a Luca shirt because my wife works for Pixar and she had worked on the movie Luca, so she was counting to keep score how many people stop her for her shirt because there's a lot of Luca fans who are at Disney World too, or Disneyland. So she was keeping track, and then she kind of lost track for after.
Oh, there you go. That's a little humble brag right there.
Well, you walk through Avengers Campus. There's just a lot of fans out there. It's nice to meet. I think I was wearing this shirt too. Yeah,
it's the most identifiable part. Eric, what happened to Wookiee leaks on new Rockstars?
It's coming back. It's coming back for The Mandalorian for sure. And I think a lot of you guys have wanted us to do it for Bad Batch. It'd be really hard for us for everything we're doing right now to do both a Wookiee leaks and breakdowns for Bad Batch. We're doing neither currently. However, we've heard your prayers, and we will be doing breakdowns of the Bad Batch going forward. For every episode, I don't know, but I think Tommy's going to do one that covers everything.
Okay.
For the first few, but yeah, it was just hard. We just didn't know going into the new year. I was going to be out of the country, so we were really just kind of like trying to just cover our bases. We knew we wanted to cover The Last of Us, and now that we're back, we just kind of like we all had a great meeting today, and we're like, hey, why don't we cover the Bad Batch too? Check it out.
Yeah, the Bad Batch will be massive numbers for you.
But we aren't really caring because here's what we wanted to do going into the new year. And New Rockstars didn't always do this in the past, but going into the forward is we want to start covering more things that aren't just Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're going to continue covering Marvel and Star Wars. I mean, Bad Batch is Star Wars, but it's not like live action Star Wars. We cover Marvel way more than we do Star Wars as it is, but we want to start saying yes to things that we wouldn't always say yes to.
I saw Scream go up this week from Whitney.
Yeah, Whitney did a great job covering that Scream trailer. Jessica, I think, is going to be doing a video about the menu.
Yeah.
Anna has been on our Last of Us after show. She did a whole primer on everything you need to know going into The Last of Us. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more other types of content. If it's like a #1 movie that weekend, we want to do a video about it,
Fuck yeah. I'm excited.
Can't wait for that deep dive. Will they reach the end of the first game of The Last of Us in season 1? Without
Ooh.
spoiling things, I mean, I don't know.
I haven't seen all the way to the end
of the show.
Yeah,
But I
don't know what happens.
what do we know about the show in episode 2?
They're leaving the Boston State Capitol
Yes.
building.
Oh, because I could say this. Ellie is the whole point is Joel's trying to deliver Ellie. In case you haven't played the game, I'm trying to make sure I don't spoil anything. Joel is supposed to take Ellie to the Firefly lab base, whatever. And I feel like wherever that destination is they're supposed to land, I don't think it's going to end there. Is what I think it'll end a little bit before where the first game actually ends.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna. Man, I wish I could dive in, but I'm aware that there's a lot of people who haven't played the game. But a lot of people are under the presumption that they're going to just adapt the first game into a season, and I think they're going to do 2/3 of the first game, just based off the episode count and shit. That's just where my mind's going, and so I won't say anything more. But I feel like they're only going to do 2/3.
I think they're gonna do all of the first.
The whole
game of
thing?
The,
The
first
whole
season.
thing?
Yeah, just because I think the fact that Craig is working with Neil, I think that's how they've outlined it.
But I feel like they
don't
have
know.
3 seasons announced right now.
They do, but I think they're gonna split the second game into.
Well, the second game's forever.
Yeah.
It's a very, very long game.
Yeah, I think they could get 3 seasons out of that second game, or they could go beyond it, or they could make different choices.
Yeah.
I think many of you watching may wish that they will make different choices when they adapt the second game. We'll see. I don't want to say too much.
them
To say
go
more would be
all
to spoil.
out.
Yeah.
Do it. Go all out.
Do it sooner.
Yeah, before the first
Next
season.
episode.
Yeah. Cowards. This is us 13. So happy to thank you for the super chat. See Eric doing deep dives. These are my faves and always cheer me and my bestie. Aww.
Great. Thank you so much. And again, please subscribe to the Deep Dive. It's Deep Dive NR. And I know it's hard to see how it will be different because it's like, well, you already do deep dives. What we're doing on New Rockstars are just breakdowns and comprehensive Easter egg hunts,
Right.
which are very hard and very rewarding to do. And I'm going to keep doing them because I do like doing that work. But deep dives, it's going to have a different format. It's going to have a different feel, a different vibe, different speed to it. We're going to be analyzing it from a different light. It's going to be a bit indulgent. It's going to be a bit more personal, too. I'm going to open up about my life and my personal connection to all these things. So something that I normally leave on the table because my anxiety has been, no one cares about that. Like, no one wants to hear that. But now that it's my own channel, I'm like, okay, well, maybe some people do.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Let's hear about your childhood traumas right here on this live stream. Let's make this fun. What's your core wounds?
You gotta subscribe to the Deep Dive to see Eric's
If you want
trauma.
to hear my core traumas, go to the deep dive. Do you think Kang will kill Scott? Nah, we need Scott around. He's gonna live.
Yeah,
I think when you do teases like that in the trailer, I'm like,
that's right.
It's not gonna
Actually,
happen.
a little tease of our 5th piece of deep dive content that you'll see on launch day. We're gonna look at the art of trailer deception. I'm gonna do a full analysis on what parts of how do you know when a trailer is lying? Because we know trailers are deceptive.
Sure.
But how specifically when in a trailer? Like what shots should we be suspect of? And why do trailers lie? How have they evolved over time? Is it okay when they lie? Should they be sued when they lie? Because now there is a lawsuit. Universal Studios being sued over the Yesterday movie trailer.
Those lawsuits are nuts to me because I'm like, you're asking for so much money for something that would have cost you like $10 to $20. Like it's a kind of a ridiculous.
Even less. I think the 2 people suing just rented it on the streaming. They paid $4.99 for it.
Yeah.
Like
I think their time is that valuable to the point.
They were just so mad that Ana de Armas' subplot got cut. That's the only reason they watched Yesterday, the Beatles movie.
It just sounds like such a thing where you're going, is there a way we can sue for this experience? And I'm like, you can't genuinely. I could see being peeved by it, but I can't imagine someone being genuinely upset to the point where they feel they have to sue.
I don't know. Yeah, they might be lawyers just trying to get
it's just
some money out. I don't know how it works, but hey, a judge is allowing it to move forward. Universal tried to get it thrown out, and the judge is like, "No, there's a case here. You got to prep."
It's an interesting discussion to be had.
Yeah.
But it's like there's some type of like Hulu movie to make about the person who sues for some bullshit like that. Didn't know Eric had legs. Eric's got very long legs.
Yeah, feels weird. I don't like looking at my legs. Cover them up.
Oh, well, that you tune in more for the deep dive to understand why Erik does not like looking at his own legs. Let's see here. Resident Nerdman, thank you for the super chat. All right, guys, we should wrap this stream up soon. I don't want to take up too much of your time, man.
I'm having a blast.
We've been here for an hour.
What?
I feel like your time is very valuable.
Not that valuable.
Cost $300 every 30 minutes for.
You think
Erik
I get
Voss.
300? Wow, I should start charging that.
Resident Nerdman says, I love your reviews and breakdowns. Here you and John and Coy deconstruct films makes my day. Love knowing film still has a place in this world. Thank you. Of course, the film has a place in this world. What an interesting thing to say. Film. There's too much film. There's so much film.
Not enough.
Not enough. We need more, more releases every month. Stop motion could take hours per second. And they say Infinity War was big.
Yeah. We haven't really talked much about like our backstories. I guess I went into I much more enjoy taking questions from you guys and talking to them. But there's a fascinating man sitting next to me here.
Do you have a question?
I want to know how you got started doing this.
I got started doing this because I wanted to find. I was actually obsessed with Ebert and Roper.
Yeah, me too.
The 2 thumbs up guys. Remember those? Remember that day?
I remember Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, then it was Ebert and Roper following
Yeah, then
after.
Roper took over.
And then
Roper killed Siskel.
Roper killed Siskel. It said it's my time.
Yes.
I want your thumb.
And he had to become a critic now. He's like the Santa Claus.
And it's funny seeing that because those reviews were essentially 2 people doing a Jeremy Johns review, like just so bite-sized. Like they were super short reviews. And I love that concept, and that's how we wanted to do it. And then, so when we started the channel, like it was John and I in the beginning, but he was getting to college so I just had to kind of take this into my own hands and take it into my own reins. And then eventually, like I said some of it in the car to you, it was like I was working a full-time job at a doctor's office, and then I did 30 hours a week, pretty much doing YouTube. In the morning when I woke up, on my lunch break, I would drive back, do more YouTube, and then I would do it after work, and then all weekend. And then there was 1 month where I had the biggest leap of faith where I was like, all right, I think I can make this channel work if I just quit my job. And I had no savings, and I decided, let me just, if I take all the hours I'm doing at my job and just put it now to YouTube, I'm pretty sure I can make this work. And it was a big risk because I had no money, and then I managed to I remember I made $917, which was just enough to make my rent.
Nice.
And I was like, perfect. Now if I could just make a little bit more, this would be awesome. And I'm the same guy who's had the same kind of anxiety since. Like I gotta just constantly be doing this. And so yeah. What about you? What's your start?
Weirdly, I started by like getting into critics. For me, it was Jeff Jensen at Entertainment Weekly because I would watch Lost in college. Yeah, now he's like a screenwriter. I think he wrote for Legion. I think he was a writer on Legion on FX. Anyway, but yeah, like growing up, like seeing movies with my mom. Like my dad was obsessed with the movie Jaws, so I would just watch Jaws with him. And I didn't, wasn't until I rewatched a scene where the son is like mirroring his dad's like depression, just doing this. And then I was like, oh, that's why, because my dad loves his kids, and that's why he loves Jaws.
Yeah.
So I was able to have that connection. My brother got me. I remember, like, we were watching a movie, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go out. He's like, what's next? Oh, Pulp Fiction. You should watch that. It's really cool. And I was like, what? And he's like, it's this guy, Quentin Tarantino. The movie's like, it's out of order, but you'll like it. I was like, okay. And I just watched it, and I was like, oh, my God. And it blew my mind. So I've had just a family who just gave me great movie recommendations, and then got really into Lost and got really into like writing about movies. Moved out to LA to be a screenwriter, wrote some movies, didn't sell any of them. Wrote for a blog called Split Sider, where I was reviewing Saturday Night Live and interviewing like showrunners and that kind of thing.
Fascinating. Wow.
Yeah, those
What
you
a
can
journey.
still find those articles. They're on. It's now owned by Vulture, but I used to really get into it. I would create pie charts of cast member screen time over the season. Like Kate
how
McKinnon's got a big
interesting.
wedge. And then the cast saw those articles and started to freak out, like, why am I not in on why'd my sketch get cut? And I did that. And then, I was working TV production jobs for a while. And then I actually auditioned for what was then New Media Rockstars in 2015. I did a screen test, thought I did okay. I didn't get the job, But like the people who did get the job were my friends from the improv community that I had recommended for the job, not realizing I was recommending my competition, and they were just slightly better looking. They were the coys to me. The koi got the job and not me. But it's okay. They did a great job with it. They're more telegenic than I was. I moved out to be a writer, so I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And I was brought on to be a writer of these scripts. So yeah.
The plan wasn't even to be a host.
No, I mean, I auditioned to be a host. I'm like, I'll take any job.
So you kind of have like a bit of a Conan O'Brien journey.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, yeah, kind of. I never intended to be on camera when I moved out to LA. But then, I started to write a bunch of these scripts, and eventually I quit my job. I took a risk, and like, I think that might have been a premature risk because I had definitely had a year where I was having trouble paying rent just trying to write scripts in Rockstars because I was told that it would turn into full time like in a couple months, and it didn't until like at least over a year. So it was a bit of a struggle, a lot of anxiety for a year, but then eventually like things just kind of shifted. At first I thought I'm totally gonna get fired. This company's gonna fall apart because we weren't making any video. Like you can look at from like February to like March or April of 2016, there's like no videos that came out on the new Rockstars channel. And it wasn't until like Game of Thrones came back and then like suddenly the channel's like, all right, we're gonna cover this. And then like still like scripts weren't getting made, things were coming out way too late, and eventually it all just fell in my lap. Which ended up being like a blessing in disguise because then I was like, okay, no one's gonna tell me not to make this video. Okay, I will make this video. And then since then, I've just been kind of like figuring out what is the best kind of content to do. And a lot of it's just been guided by what do I want to analyze the most? What do I think has like the deepest layers to it? And so in the early months, we were doing like first season of Stranger Things, but then we would also do Legion, that show Legion, I mentioned. And then, it just kind of grew from there. We've had a lot of luck. We've had a lot of great editors who have helped us out, like my buddy Devin. And it's just been we've had a lot of just fortunate success. And it's just been because, like, I cannot stop writing. Like, I will write all night. I was telling you on the drive over here, like, I'm getting 5 hours of sleep currently. And my body's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, that shouldn't be how it works.
You got an anxious turning brain.
Yeah, I constantly have ideas of things to work on, and I will wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I want to write another couple paragraphs of this just because I won't be able to sleep until I do. And luckily, we've just been able to add a lot of great team members to the new Rockstars family who've just been able to help us grow even more. And the people you see on screen are fantastic, but also there's a whole bunch of people behind the scenes. We have some amazing editors. Josh Hurd is a guy who is like the unsung hero of new Rockstars over the past few years. He's so great. And we have an operations team, our head of operations, Patty, who's like saved new Rockstars at least 8 different times in the past 12 months.
How long does it take to edit? Let's say you have like a 20-minute breakdown. How long would you take it that it takes the editing team to edit one of those?
If it's a 20-minute breakdown, for one that I've done,
there's a lot.
Every host and writer at New Rockstars has a different pace and a different approach to it. What I do is like I try to limit myself to only writing for 4 hours, but if it's like a 20-minute breakdown, I probably spent about 10 hours writing that.
Jesus.
But it's because like say it's an episode of Moon Knight or something.
Yeah.
That night I've been working for 2.5 hours on it, starting to outline and write.
Yeah.
And then I wake up at like 6. Or no, I get 6 hours of sleep. I'll wake up at like 8. And then I will and I'll write all day, and our deadline is at like 5 p.m. I have to shoot by then.
Oh, they give you like deadlines.
Yeah, because it's really just if we miss it, then the video is going to come out a day later.
Yeah.
And then we have an amazing group of freelance editors who we've been able to work with over the past few years. So if it's like a 20-minute video, there's usually 2 or 3 editors that are all working on different chunks of it at the same time.
Wow.
Overnight or the next morning. Once they're done, they send it back to one of our full-time editors who stitches it all together, cleans it up, and then hopefully we're able to review it. So, yeah, for them, for like a 7 or 8 minute chunk, they get, I mean, I think the rate is like you get an hour per minute is the rate they move at.
Wow.
So they're working. Because you've seen our videos have a lot of assets and a lot of animation.
That is
I think some can work faster than that, but that's the rate we look at it.
That's an hour per minute.
I might be wrong. Our editors might be like, you bonehead, you don't know how
if you guys are, if you're understanding this, what it's being said is that it would take 1 hour to edit 1 minute of a video.
I think one man hour, right? Yeah. 1 man hour. So if you see a 40-minute video, there was 40 man hours of post production that went into that 40-minute video.
And there's a lot of videos coming out.
And honestly,
God.
that's kind of how Devin works right now for the deep dive. He's able to get, working 8-hour days, able to get about an 8-minute chunk finish.
Jesus.
So in these videos, our WandaVision deep dive is 55 minutes long.
Yeah.
So that means those 55 of Devin's hours went into that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
And I spent
insane.
probably a few days writing that script too. Like I spent a long time rewatching everything, rewatching it again, getting like a new, because I didn't want to just like rehash through. I mean, there are some things that are a bit redundant because I'm like, no, but I mentioned this before, but there's another layer to it that trust me. But I was able to find like so many more things. And there was a lot of research from our WandaVision stuff that I just left out of it because I'm like, I don't know if this is significant. But like, I look back at our Mephisto speculation. I realized that there was something to it.
Bring it back.
Mephisto obviously wasn't in this show.
Bring it back.
But like, there is like Wanda's grief is sentient in that show. There is a third entity that is controlling both Wanda and Agatha in that. And who is that? Who is that? That's a force. Someone is puppeting shit, and I don't think it was Mephisto yet. But we'll see how Mephisto is involved. I think Agatha knew who Mephisto was. I think Agatha has a history with Mephisto. That just didn't come up.
I love the idea. You just accept defeat. Then
No.
then you go back through it, and you're like, oh my God.
No, he was there.
Yeah.
He was there.
He was there the whole time. And you just revisit it, and you're like, there's more evidence. You're like that detective who won't let the case go.
Never.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
The killer's still out there, damn it. The guy you have in prison's not the right guy. Just can't let it go. I love it. I love it. Let's see here. This is fun. Paul Little. Loeb, NR, and R. What does that mean?
New Rockstars and Real Rejects.
What does Loeb mean?
I don't know.
Curious-
Maybe love. And he wrote
Yes. That is much more accurate. I was about to really try to deconstruct with the word Loeb. Curious how NR deep dive with from Philip's new Film-Wise channel since he's behind that at New Rockstars. Any insight?
You'll have to ask Philip about that. So Philip has moved on from New Rockstars. He's Film-Wise is his own independent thing. So I'm really excited for him. I'm like, because Philip was part of New Rockstars in the early years, and like I really liked it when he used to do videos because I think he's got a great brain for this stuff. And so I'm really excited to see what he does with this new channel of his. I wish him all the best as he goes on with this new thing.
Let's see. He was part of the process with you being part of New Rockstars in the beginning, right?
Yeah. He was what got me onto the channel. I knew him in college, and like the only reason why I started to be on camera at New Rockstars because Philip got a new job. Like every year since like 2016, Philip has like the guy has so many different irons in the fire. Like I'm so fascinated by how his brain works because, like, he got hired, I think, at Defy Media, and then he was on SourceFed for a while, and then he's had a lot of other, like, side ventures that he's tried out year after year after year. So as he's been working on all that other stuff, that's why, like, making videos for New Rockstars fell into my lap.
Got it.
Yeah. So,
well, I can't wait to see. Watch them go toe-to-toe. See what happens, guys.
Yeah, I really don't know what's going on with that. Like, yeah, I'm curious to see what he does with it.
I mean, yeah, that'd be exciting. Let's see it happen. Then you can react to his videos, and then you
and then we all just react to each other. It's just like it's a back rub centipede of us just massaging each other.
Let's see how far behind are we? Okay, let's do a speed round and catch up on supers, and then we'll do a couple last questions, and we got to call it. Let's put this away for a sec. Let me refresh this. Please don't make me sign back in to my own account, YouTube. Do you guys get age restrictions on your videos ever?
Sometimes, but we try to keep it. We'll edit around things, we'll blur stuff, but yeah, sometimes just from the weirdest stuff, we'll get age restrictions. Like, and we don't really know what it was about it.
It's a pain in the ass.
It is the worst.
This video is probably age restricted, honestly, just for a couple of swear words. Okay, yeah, we're a little bit behind here. All right, we're very behind here. My God. All right, we're gonna do this. Quality, efficient answers coming in very soon. Everyone's over there.
Got a lot of super chats.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah,
It's
thank
it's
you.
really supportive.
I love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to get to the part where we last left off. Almost there. Loeb new Rockstars.
Oh,
Okay.
I remember
There
Loeb.
we are. All right. It's B3N. Here we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's B3N. Hey, Eric and Greg. How do you think Shang-Chi versus Kang will go down? He's going to punch him. I hope Kang steals some rings and we get a brief fight like Shang-Chi and his dad.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think there is a link between Kang and the Ten
There
Rings.
has to be.
Right. There's just I don't know if it'll be like overt in Quantumania. Some people say the visuals of those big rings might be connected to the Ten Rings, but yeah, I don't know. I think there's a connection with the bangle in Kang. Like Iman Vellani seemed to indicate
Yeah.
that there was going to be the inscription was going to be like a Kang thing.
I remember she gave you some exclusives on that.
Some
And
exclusives.
she was right there, being like, "I'll give Eric
Yeah.
the juicy details." But I'm excited for Daniel. What's his fucking name? The director, Creston.
Destin Daniel Cretton.
God damn it! Yeah. I'm excited that it's crazy that he got the opportunity to
I
be doing
know,
this
I know,
Avengers
I know.
movie.
Yeah, he's the
But
best.
he did an excellent job. Helmed an ensemble.
Yeah.
And then introduced a new world. I thought he did an excellent job. Taib Mahumder, thank you.
Majumber?
Thoughts on Born Again? Any predictions?
Daredevil Born Again. I'm super excited.
I
for it.
am.
It's gonna be great.
I'm a little. I'm cautiously. I'm a little nervous.
You're a little nervous because like
This is Disney Plus.
you think it's gonna tone down the violence.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a big argument about like it doesn't matter. I'm like, well, if you're pulling in the Netflix, it's like doing Expendables 3 after Expendables 2, and it's not just because it was cool, because it was violent. Daredevil Netflix, like it sort of represented something. It felt more real, and because the violence truly had the violence in itself was a character in a lot of ways in the Netflix show. So that's why it always said something more about the characters when the violence was there. It wasn't just
Yeah.
gratuitous to be gratuitous.
No, it was
Like-
the characterization. It was and thematic weight to it.
That's why the head smashing scene is so memorable for so
Yeah.
many people, because as gory as it is, it like really showed you this soft spoken guy's a real monster. You know,
Right,
like
yeah.
it really said a lot. Or even in the episode before or after, I forget which one, where the guy like throws his head
The guy,
onto
this
a
episode
spike.
3, he's like just to avoid the wrath
Yeah.
of Kingpin, kills himself on a spike.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have jumped off a ledge. You could
Yeah.
have crushed up some sleeping pills.
But
Nope.
I think it says a lot. And having that violence show it just makes it that much more. It creates tension and adds to the mood, and so that's why But I know it's not everything. I have no idea what they're going to do for the show. That like it's so many episodes. I'm like, what the hell are they
18
going to do for
episodes.
the show?
I mean, it could be a really great legal drama.
That'd be
great.
cool. I like the
Could be a
legal
lawyer
side
show.
of it. The
Yeah.
Punisher, him
Yeah, the
that was
trial of the Punisher
that
was
was
awesome
great.
in
That was
season 2.
brilliant.
Yeah.
I feel like season 2 gets a lot of crap, but I like season 2 quite
I
a
like
lot.
that arc. It's the Elektra arc of season 2 that wasn't crazy about.
Yeah, but I still liked a good amount of that.
I still liked a lot of it.
Yeah.
It just some of it was a little slow.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when it gets like the hand and ninjas and fucking like they have no heartbeats and whatever. Yeah, it starts to lose you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
PJ Pandemic Jones, one of our top patrons as well.
PJ.
He says, "What's up, boys? Wish I could stay, but I'm going to theater to see Infinity
Ooh,
Pool."
have fun.
Oh, I've heard in. Okay, big fan, Eric. Look forward to the upcoming Ant-Man stuff and the deep dive. Much love, boys. I've heard in the way how the menu was more of sometimes not so subtle, but a more subtle commentary on, classism and the rich and all that. That the Infinity Pool is the much more overt, destructive, gory, violent version. Have you seen the trailer for it? It's David Cronenberg's son, I think.
Yeah,
who
I
did
saw
it.
the trailer for it.
It looks gnarly.
Yeah, it looks crazy. And Tommy and Jessica were able to see a sneak preview of it and said it was pretty wild.
Yeah, it seems like a really uncomfortable experience. Moment of silence from Thick Tracy. Thank you. Annie Banani. Moment of silence. Thick Tracy. We got an insult super chat. These are the best.
Oh, okay, I love it.
Now, this could either be for me or you.
It could be either. Let's assume that they mean it for both.
Let's mean it for both. Ask why he fakes his reactions. And I'll ask you first. Eric, why do you fake your reactions?
For the views, baby. For those yummy, yummy views. I don't fake my reactions. What the emotions? I heighten them sometimes. I heighten them, but it's like the joy I'm feeling is real. The emotion is real. But like every time you see me on camera, you think that's the authentic me? You think I'm walking around saying, "Hi, welcome back to talking to me right now. Here's how I feel about a movie." No, I'm on camera. That's like part of my job.
I think what I always tell like anyone who comes by here on the channel is I like to let this be the outlet to express how you're feeling internally. That's what I always tell everyone is whatever you're feeling internally, just let it, it's kind of an acting exercise. And you say acting, that sounds like pretending, but no, a big part of acting is being willing to express your emotions. And so that's what I always encourage people to do when they're here with me is like, all you're doing is whatever. So if you feel like crying, let it out. That's if someone's crying, you're not going to be like fake, like you're crying. But a lot of times people will actually shy away from letting themselves cry. And I'll be like, no, if you feel like crying, cry. Makes good thumbnails too. But I'm like, cry. But also,
they're gonna clip that out as an example of how.
That's why you cry.
Yeah,
just
makes good thumbnails, dude. Makes good thumbnails, dude.
I got
great guy, but still makes good thumbnails.
Thumbnails, dude. But also, no, if you're feeling like I know what it's like to kind of feel a little like be in a crowd of people who are excited and feel that, but be timid to share it. Yeah. And be in unison with others. And now I've always let this be the outlet to show that.
Yeah.
And that's what I let other people do.
Look, Tracy, if you think I'm faking my reactions, at least you can take some pleasure in the fact that when I have fallen out of my chair, I really did hurt myself that time. So I got a bruise for it. So, I physically got hurt. I'm not going to a theater screaming, "Let's go!" I'm not that guy. Talk to them about maybe why they fake their reactions, because I'm not going to annoy you in a movie theater with my reaction. Maybe I should start doing that.
Yeah.
Everyone, I wrote a lot of notes. Look at how much I love
I'm
movies.
a dedicated worker over here. We know what you're referencing here. Thefsani. Eric, have you gone to any San Francisco? Yeah, that is it, right?
Sketchfest. Sketchfest is happening right now. I think right now I have not gone, but tomorrow, Friday, I will be at the Stageworks Theater. It's not part of Sketchfest, but it is. I'm part of an improv theater company called End Games.
Oh, nice.
Very fun.
End Games?
End Games. They had their name before
them
Avengers Endgame. Yeah, that one little movie.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really funny group of people, and we're doing a show on Friday.
Yeah.
It's going to be our last show in that location before we move to another location. It's going to be a blast.
Awesome. Where's it located?
It's on Valencia Street, 446 Valencia Street in the Mission.
All right. If you're out and about near there, go for it.
Yes. I'm just going to get some whatever.
Please.
Because I yelled and I did that bit.
Because you were faking your bit.
Yeah.
Olivier Hamlin, thank you for being here again, buddy. You've been here quite a few times. Hey, Eric. Following the stream, should we expect an NR breakdown about Greg's house and how you can prove John is being held captive against his will? # must debunk.
No, because I don't want the police to find this place, and I think John has some Stockholm syndrome, and I don't want to take that away from him.
That's the only reason John is still on this channel.
Yeah,
because we keep him locked up, and it's the only thing that gets me aroused these days. Alan Gibbs, here we are.
Jesus Christ.
The real Rockstars are the new Rejects. You decide. Those are honestly good names.
They're both good.
They're both good
New
names.
Rejects, honestly, I think those are both better than the names we have.
That's actually
Real Rockstars is better, and New Rejects is better.
Yeah,
I would take either of those over what I have.
They actually work. They actually work super well. New Rejects. Thank you, Alan Gibbs. Mustafa Jav. This is a good one. If Wes Anderson had to direct a Marvel movie, what character should be in it? I vote for Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, you don't like those awesome symmetry shots that he always does?
I would watch Wes Anderson's Guardians of the Galaxy, but I would want something more grounded, right?
Yeah.
I think a Wes Anderson vision,
The Defenders.
Vision Quest by Wes Anderson would be fun.
That's
Just
true.
like processing the world through his eyes. I mean, some of those WandaVision episodes could have been directed by Wes Anderson, right?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, I would love a good Wes Anderson Batman movie. Just
Marvel movie.
real quirky, sad, where an animal randomly dies. I do like a good Wes Anderson. I haven't seen enough Wes Anderson.
Some people call me a loner, but I'm just misunderstood.
Played by
Sufjan Stevens music comes in.
Yeah, played by Adrian Brody. That'd be great. Samuel Thomas. You guys think Deadpool will show up in Secret Wars? 1,000%.
I think
of course.
Well, I mean, we'll see him before Secret Wars and Deadpool 3. Yeah, at that point, you're gonna see everybody in Secret Wars.
You think like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will be in
I think
Secret
Hugh
Wars?
Jackman's gonna be there. I think Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. I think Toby. They're gonna find a way to get Toby in there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. It's probably gonna be 2 movies.
Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
Ben Affleck, Daredevil. Yeah.
David Hasselhoff, Nick
yeah.
Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all gonna be there.
There's ways to do it. Ben Affleck's Daredevil. Rupert Jameson. Either of you playing Hogwarts Legacy? No, I'm
No.
not. I haven't played it yet.
And as you know, I don't really have time for video games right now.
Oh my God, you got the best way out. Just saying that. Because there's a
Why?
whole other conversation happening around
What's
that
this
game.
conversation?
Yeah.
I'm unaware
Went on Twitter one day. I was
of
like,
any controversy.
it could be controversial playing this game. It does look interesting. I got to admit, it does look like an interesting game. I'm not pining to play it. I'm still making my way through God of War Ragnarok, but it could be cool. Venom Carnate. I'd say Tom Holland should play Superman. It's not a plane. It's not a bird. It's me. It's Superman. Hey,
Wow.
Lois.
Wow. So the sun's energy gives me power?
So bewildered or he's Morty. I'm Nathan Drake. You could just, when I heard he's going to be playing like that rumor of him being Zorro, I was like, please God, for the love of God, please don't.
He doesn't want to do that.
I think Tom Holland is actually a great actor, though. Have you seen some of his other? That was a great. Yes.
Yeah, the Devil All the Time.
Yeah, it was
Great
great
in that. Cherry.
Cherry's good. Even his debut movie, The Impossible.
Oh yeah. But he's a little kid.
Yeah, he didn't know what his range was yet.
No.
Yeah, he was good though.
So kid, play scared.
There's a hurricane coming.
Sorry, it was a tsunami, Chris.
Tsunami. Yeah. There's a tsunami. He does say.
Oh, jeez.
There is a bit of a Morty thing about it.
totally
There's a Morty thing about Tom Holland.
He's doing Michael J. Fox. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pratfalls, the comedic energy.
Yes,
There's
yes.
a video essay to be made on how Tom Holland's Peter Parker is Michael J. Fox
he
is
is-
Marty McFly.
1,000%. I think
Yeah.
he said that directly. That
Probably,
that he wants. To,
I mean, pull from the best, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Tony, with the trailers that have come out for Ant-Man and what we know of the character so far, how do you think the movie will go down, or what would you do?
What would I do
What
if
would
I
you
were shrunken in the quantum realm?
yeah.
I don't.
Or what would you do with the
what we
movie?
know
I
of the,
guess?
oh, what? How do you think
Have you
the movie
read-
Will go down.
Honestly, have you read the script leak? I haven't read the script leak.
No.
I haven't read it.
In fact, I didn't even hear about it until a
Yeah.
couple days later. By then, it was just apparently taken off the web.
Yeah.
Not that I went looking for myself.
Not that
But
I got to
no.
prep a breakdown a little bit early in advance. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have not seen it. I mean, a lot of people have like tweeted at me out of context lines of dialogue that might be from this, but they don't make any sense to me. Like I don't know who says it or what it's in reference to.
I don't remember what you said in the break room. Did you say that you think Hank Pym might die? I feel like he might die.
Brandon said Hank Pym might die. I think it'd be weird to kill him. I
Really?
think it's more likely that I think MODOK. It would be weird for that version
That's
of
right.
MODOK to
Yeah,
have a
that's right.
future, which I've always felt that from the first time it was like reported that Corey Stoll is going to be playing MODOK. I just think that's weird.
Yeah.
Because there's another version of MODOK out there. Like they should do MODOK. They
So
should-
like a Mandarin thing where it's like
he's
you
too
have
big
one
of a
Mandarin.
character to
Yeah.
change that way. So I think it's
Mhm.
just kind of a one-off type of deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And then after Secret Wars, we'll get a real MODOK.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I think you can pull off MODOK in live action. You know who could
Yeah.
pull it off? James Gunn could have pulled off a real MODOK. He could have done it,
Yeah,
but they done fucked up.
you lost him.
It's just a crazy story with James Gunn.
I know.
Just to go from like being fired
Yeah,
to,
the-
to be the DC president. Like, it's
There
just
and back
not-
again.
It's
The James Gunn tale.
It's insane. It's insane. It's insane.
It's insane.
It's insane. It's insane what's going on with James Gunn. Jonathan Sullivan. Hi, Craig and Eric.
Hi.
Are there any movies you're sort of embarrassed to admit you haven't seen? Keep up the good work. I have not seen most of the Friday the 13th movies. I have not seen most of the actually the horror slasher characters. I haven't seen most of the movies.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of those movies. I can't really because there's so many sequels. Like I've seen the first of all of them,
Yeah.
and I've seen a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Streets because I got into that as a kid. So I saw at least through Dream Warriors, which I think is the third one,
I have a whole bunch of movies I haven't
and then I
seen.
watched the fourth one too, Freddy's New Nightmare. Saw that one.
I haven't seen Field of Dreams.
Oh, you're
I'm-
gonna cry.
I haven't seen the original Willy Wonka
How have you missed that one?
because the Johnny Depp one was too good, and I said I'm not going to ruin it with some Gene Wilder bullshit.
I'm trying to think. It's creepy as hell, but it's great. It's a classic. I haven't seen Leon the Professional. That comes up a lot. That's at the top of my list of movies to see.
Wow, you
I'd rather
haven't
see
seen Leon the Professional?
I haven't seen Leon the Professional.
Well, there's the Professional, and then there was Leon the Professional.
Okay.
Like it's the same. It's one's the like the director's cut, but that one is.
That's
better.
the one where
It is
Gary
better.
Oldman goes,
Everyone.
I know
Yeah.
the meme
Yeah.
from it, but I don't know the context of that scene at all.
Oh my god, it's a fantastic. It's Luc Besson's best movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I know Luc Besson often does like cheesy action films now,
Uh-huh.
but it is a genuinely great movie.
Okay. I will check it out.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
I
think
gotta-
you would love that movie.
I mean, yeah, it's on my list. It's hard. There are a lot of stuff I got to get through.
and it's so cool.
Okay. You've
What the
convinced me.
fuck, Eric?
I guess I'm really embarrassed now that I haven't seen it.
I mean, the benefit of me not having seen movies is I can do a reaction here on the channel. Like,
Yeah.
saw Schindler's List for the first time a month
Oh.
ago. That's a fun movie. You should break that down. That would be a very
You know,
fun
it's sad.
Easter eggs for Schindler's List. Yeah.
I rewatched it with Kelly like a couple years ago, and I was like, "Look, I know it's considered one of the saddest, most horrifying movies of all time, but you know what? There's some lighthearted moments in it." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Trust me, it's Steven Spielberg. He puts lighthearted moments in all of his movies." And I rewatched it, and I said, "Kelly, I'm so sorry." And it was like right when the scene where the kids are in the truck and they wait.
Oh no.
And I was like, I'm so sorry. There's one gag in the movie, and it's not even that funny. It's kind of mean now. It's where Oscar Schindler's taking interviews for a secretary.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's all these beautiful women. He's like, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, as they're typing slowly.
Oh, and then he gets like further back. Yeah.
There's one who's just a little more homely. Who's like,
Yeah.
he's just like
Yeah.
bored. That's the one joke in the movie. And I remembered that thinking the movie was filled with that. No, that's one scene in an otherwise haunting, beautifully made movie that
Yeah.
everyone needs to see, but it's not a charmer,
Yeah.
as you know.
I mean, yeah, no, that was a hard one to sit through. To be honest, it still holds up. It's a weird timeless film because
Yeah.
it's from the '90s, but it feels like it could have been. It genuinely feels like it could have been made just like a year ago or
Oh, yeah.
this year.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce, Eric Miller, thank you for the moment of
Thank you.
silence. Bryce Burras, thank you. Rewatching Lost for the first time in 10 plus years. I've never heard more Lost conversation in the last few years than I have today. That just keeps coming up to.
I mean, if you get in a conversation with me, Lost is going to come up a few times.
Do
I
you?
love that show.
I'll just ask you this: do you like the ending?
I do.
And I haven't seen the ending, but I've kind of heard it.
I do. I think it's great.
Okay.
It's great. I don't know if it's great, but it's good. I think it's fine.
But it works for you.
It's fine. It's overhated, I think.
Fair enough. That's a good way to put it.
I think that show did a lot of great stuff. A lot of exciting things.
I would like to revisit it. I would like to do a video here where I watch just the first episode, and the last episode.
You could, but you'd miss out the journey in between. I mean, the first episode is one of the best pilots ever made
Yeah.
of a TV show. You could just start with the pilot and see how you feel.
And then go, fuck that. I'm going to actually watch the whole thing.
The
Right? Yeah.
pilot feels like
Yeah.
a movie. It's weird to
Yeah.
think 2004. If you watched TV in 2004, the budget was really limited on ABC shows, CBS,
Sure,
NBC shows. They didn't have these kind of budgets, but this one, J.J. Abrams directed it and went crazy.
It was a monumental show.
Yeah.
It was. I
great.
could not stop hearing about it.
Yeah, the mystery craft was great. Unfortunately, J.J. Abrams had no plan beyond just the mystery building.
that
And,
was the day of TiVo.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's right. That's how I watched it. I watched it on TiVo. It's fast forwarding the boop, boop.
Yeah. And I didn't have TiVo, so that's
Yeah.
why I couldn't watch it.
But I give all the credit in the world to Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse who had to take over that show and
Yeah.
make it make sense. And I think they did a pretty good job.
That was a good. I imagine it was a good show. I've seen some of it. Benjamin, not Nash Sanadiki. If Greg is playing Abby, do you own a 9-iron club?
Well, do you?
For my interpretation of Abby, you're just gonna need Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie right here. That's the names I came up with for that.
I love it. Simple Life with Greg.
Film wise and deep dive. Right here is what I call this.
Why do we have to fight? Can't we all just get along?
Get along. Benjamin B, thank you for the super chat. Who would you each pick to direct and star in a live action Century movie?
I don't know.
That's the point when you're an hour and a half into a live stream with Erik. I don't fucking know.
Will Smith star and direct live action Sentry movie. He can direct it and star in it.
Who's the main pick for Sentry that people have? Is it Henry Cavill? He's kind of like the top casting choice for all that.
They just want something for him.
Matthew Vaughn and directing and Henry Cavill would be the pick.
Okay,
There you
sounds
go.
great.
Dude, I've done longer streams, Erik. You can hang in there, buddy.
I can do this.
You can do this. Just hang in there, man.
That's the hardest question. People ask, like, all right now, play casting director. Cast, like, the Fantastic Four. Cast all the X-Men. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't know who the young actors are right now. I want them to cast people I've never heard of before.
Right.
Go to some community theater in Alberta, Canada, and cast someone to play Wolverine. And I don't want to have ever heard of them before, and just cast them to play it, and I'll fall in love with them if they're a good actor.
So you don't have any fan picks for anything?
No, I don't. Like, I mentioned...
I pitched a video idea to you, and you didn't seem too enriched by this video idea.
What did I say? Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell as Hal Jordan, I think, is kind of fun. But, like,
sure.
when I'm watching movies, it's kind of like they already become too famous. I don't want them to play the superhero now. I just want them to do, like, small, weird art house movies.
Yeah.
And I love what Robert Pattinson did with his career, right?
Yeah.
He did the Twilight movies, made a shit ton of money. And then he's like, I'm going to make a bunch of weird movies for 6 years.
And it panned out.
He made that 9/11 movie.
Yeah.
Remember me, right?
Yeah,
We didn't know it was a 9/11 movie. It's a 9/11 movie.
Yeah.
And then he made The Lighthouse, which was years after. That was kind of at the end of his...
Didn't remember me.
and
then
nothing
the Lighthouse.
happened in between.
Just two movies. Then he got Batman.
And I think he did remember me in between some of the Twilight movies, too. I don't know what happened.
That was a
in his
weird
career.
turn. Can I awkwardly scoot you in?
No.
Just slightly out of frame. All right, we got this. We got this, Erik.
Fuck your frame.
We're almost. You know what? Let me just make sure I can just do a proper refresh so we're properly caught up, and then.
Oh my god.
We got this.
Too many super chats. We'll get to all of them.
There's never too many super chats.
We just got to start answering their questions. Stop fucking around.
Yeah. No, I mean, we didn't need to plug your deep dive thing. That
Why
took
did
up
we do
half the
that?
live
I
stream
know. Look
right
at that.
there.
That was so stupid. An idiot. God.
You signed up for this, man.
I did sign up for it.
This is where we're at. Okay.
Oh, then we're back.
Okay, we're not too. We got too many to wrap, but we got this.
Let's see. What do we got?
Any anime breakdowns coming to new Rockstars?
Not right now. And you can blame Japan because Japanese
blame Japan
because Japanese companies don't have the same fair use rights, so they will sue us if we ever cover anime. So a lot of great anime creators out there are having a lot of trouble getting their content reactions, which totally should fall under fair use. Japan doesn't honor that. That's why there's a lot of Godzilla content we don't do either, because they're very litigious. So it's hard to do anime content and make this a business. It'd have to be a hobby at that point.
That's why we do our anime reactions for Patreon, because I know too many reaction channels where they're like their channels get shut down for a couple weeks because of that, and we just can't afford that. We got a high production. We gotta keep churning videos out over here. But thank you for the question, Chris Leto.
Yeah.
Zach Alback. Thank you for the super chat. Who do you want to be Booster Gold in the new DCEU? Answer a fan casting question.
Yeah, no, I thought. Well, this is one I thought about. The guy who plays Homelander in The Boys. I think would be a great Booster Gold.
Anthony Starr.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
If he could ever get out of Spanish prison, because didn't he get in a fight with a chef in Spain?
I think he's out.
And he went to prison. You think he's out? Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
awesome. I'm doing some.
All right. They
promotional
broke
material.
him out.
Some weird celeb controversy. Michael Bay killing pigeons. There's so much happening right now. But that's a good pick for Booster Gold.
I think he'd be great.
That's a really good pick.
Great.
The Movie Guy. Thank you for the super chat. Would you be interested in having a reaction to Foundation for All Mankind or any Apple TV shows?
Yeah, we want to do Severance.
Oh,
I would love
haven't
to
seen
look into
Severance
Severance. Severance is awesome.
I haven't seen it.
I'd love
It's
to look
worth
into
it?
Severance.
That worth it, huh?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things that came out in 2022. Severance, The Bear, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Those are your top three?
Yeah, things that came out. Yeah.
How do you feel about Top Gun Maverick getting Best Adapted Screenplay?
Number 4. Yeah, it deserves a
You
nomination.
feel
I love Top Gun Maverick.
I feel like
that movie was awesome.
I felt like maybe screenplay though. There were like other movies that definitely deserved a
but I think the
screenplay.
screenplay category gets I mean, you're a screenwriter, so you understand this. But for everyone else, is like you think good screenplay is really great dialogue. Oh, they had a really great monologue.
Just mocking the
But no,
screenwriters.
I'm saying people who don't understand. You know how hard it is to structure a good movie. To structure good action. That takes a lot of good writing.
It's mainly the Top Gun structure.
I don't know about that.
It's mainly the structure of Top Gun.
There are some parallels to
Yes.
it, but I think you're right. They are training for a mission, and they go on the mission.
Do you think the Batman's a better screenplay than Top Gun Maverick?
No. I think Top Gun Maverick is
Wow.
a better screenplay. I think it's a better because I care more about structure.
Look, I love Top Gun Maverick. Top 5 favorite films of last year for sure. So I don't want
think the
people to think
Batman
that.
I like that opening monologue, but there's the rest of it, like structurally, that movie has beats to it that don't need to be in the movie.
Okay, fair enough.
Like Batman relearns things that we already know
Sure.
in that mystery plot. Like the audience shouldn't be ahead of the detective
Yeah.
generally in mystery plots. And there are times where the audience is like, we know Batman. just go over the. Don't go back to your apartment,
Movie's
Batman.
3 hours, Batman.
Batman, you don't need to go back to the Batcave to analyze this. You could have analyzed it there in the crime scene. We all know. We all know what happened.
Fair enough.
I love that movie. I don't want to seem like I'm hating on the Batman. I love that movie.
And I don't want to seem like I'm hating on Top Gun Maverick.
It's in my top 10. I have people yelling at me for months now. They're like, why are you hating on the Batman? It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Resident Nerdman,
Hi, Resident Nerdman.
Joe Rogan Experience when? Oh man, that'd be great to have you.
I wouldn't say no.
That would be
being on
cool
Joe
to
Rogan.
see. That would be cool to
He'll
see.
never ask me. I'm not cool enough to be on Joe
Oh, you don't know that. He would totally ask you.
I'm not famous.
Yeah, no, you've been on Good Morning America,
They haven't asked me back.
and now you're here.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Sorry, man. this is how the progression of careers go.
Hey.
Alex, is that nerve wracking? God, we can't get too
No.
distracted. We gotta get this going.
Yeah.
Alex C. Easter egg must be preserved to honor its Rocky Horror roots.
Okay.
Do you understand what that means?
No, I've seen Rocky Horror Picture Show probably 3 times, and maybe they just mean like there are like Easter eggs in that movie. He's probably referring to a specific thing.
I haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I watched it like several times in college. I used to watch it like every year. Our student union would have a screen of it, and we would do like the special midnight screens where you throw spoons and stuff like that.
Oh, how fun!
And you like
Oh, they did that out in LA too. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I never went to one in LA though.
I would just react to it by myself here. That's the ultimate experience.
Yeah.
Raccoon shampoo. Are you a Doctor Who fan, Eric?
I haven't watched enough
Wow.
Doctor. I've seen like one-off episodes of it, but I'm gonna get there. I'm sorry. I know.
I think you would actually like it.
I think I would really love it too.
Yeah, I think you would really dig it.
Yeah.
I like Doctor Who. I just made it to Jodie Whittaker, everyone's favorite season. Alex Salvetta. Thank you, Alex. Hi, guys. Love the channel. You think you're making like really good speed on it, but
just keep at it.
Yeah. Love the
Jesus
channels
Christ.
and content. It's good, Jesus Christ. Eric, we need more of you on your channel. You're the OG. You hear that? People want more Eric.
You're gonna get a lot more Eric on the deep dive.
What do you guys think Iron Man RDJ's future is in Marvel, and will we see him? Much love from Ireland. I think we're going to get a lot more of, not a lot more, but we'll get Iron
I think
Man.
he'll come back in
in Secret Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, at least for a cameo.
He's not doing too much. RDJ, he's not doing too much. Have you seen his David Letterman interview?
No, I should
Oh.
check it out.
So insightful.
Well, he's got his production company now that is
Yeah.
making Perry Mason, which is one of the best things on HBO. A new season's coming out this year.
And he's got a lot of money.
He's got a little dizzy there.
God. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're getting used to this, man.
It's because I only sleep 5 hours a night and I stare at screens all day. And
I was trying to make it a
start to
s-
get the dizzies.
I tried editing this a while ago. We just kept going on tangents.
Uh-huh,
Josh Madbury. Thank you for the super chat.
Thanks, buddy.
Welcome back to Real Rockstars. I'm Eric Alba. Welcome back to Real Rockstars.
Again, Real Rockstars.
That's how you start your videos.
It's a good name. New Rejects.
You do this like.
Welcome
I'm
back to New Rock. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of do the side.
You go. Welcome back.
Fly away.
How do you both decide what movies, TV shows to cover and who covers them? That must be for you.
I mean, look, we kind of know what's in our wheelhouse, but if it's like it's a movie that you guys are really excited about, it's kind of you guys usually tell us what you want us to
Right.
cover, and we kind of listen to you, or we try to. If we're doing our jobs right, we're listening to you. Yeah, we're like, and it's not just we have like our list of things that we try not to cover. We try not to cover like politics or drama or kind of big news headlines. Johnny Depp trial. We try not to cover that stuff.
That would have been a great breakdown.
I think we could have done a good breakdown. One pitch that I really wanted to do. I wanted to break down Zapruder style. Did Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine at that film festival? I wanted to do a breakdown of that, and people were like, "No, it's not on brand." I'm like, "Oh, I could have done a great breakdown."
Oh man, that's what the deep dives are for.
I did pitch. I did want to break down the slap. I did pitch that, but that was such like a charged, controversial thing. And the rest of the New Rockstars team is like, we don't want to get people yelling at us. I'm like, I think we can do it in a respectful way. I don't know if we could have.
A respectful way. For
Maybe
the
it was
slap.
smart that we didn't do that.
But that was a great. Did you watch the Oscars live?
I
when that
watched it
happened?
live. I
That
was
was
like,
fucking
"What just
phenomenal.
happened?"
Yeah, it's the greatest moment in
Oh my
television.
God,
history.
that was not a joke.
Like when Chris Rock said, "This is the greatest moment in television history." I'm like, that guy was not kidding around. John Martin, thank you, John Martin. I would love to see a Ben Affleck Batman versus Predator set in '90s LA.
What? Yeah, I would
I
love
would
to
be
see that.
fucking rad.
Line
Yeah.
up for days to see that. That sounds great.
If we can get Predator to fight Batman,
Why Ben Affleck Batman in the 90s? I know there's Predator in
Is he
LA in the
younger?
90s,
I don't know.
but who is this Ben Affleck? Is it
Is that why he's more of an underdog,
right?
less experienced?
I don't think Ben Affleck left the city of Boston until like 1997.
Yeah, and his Bruce Wayne was from Boston in the '90s.
I'm thinking Dazed and Confused Ben Affleck. He was in Austin, Texas.
He was in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, dude, you got to watch Dazed and Confused.
Haven't seen Dazed and Confused.
He plays one of the best characters. Like, well, everyone in that movie is the best character, but he plays one of the most fun characters. He just plays a huge prick.
Yeah, you have to see Leon the Professional.
Yeah, I
Seriously.
think I do.
You really.
I've seen every movie but Leon the Professional.
Everything you say, I'm
I'm
like,
a failure.
you haven't seen The Professional.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're talking about. Anchovy Live. Thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on watching the show Barry? It's amazing.
It is amazing. I love Barry.
I'm glad we
I love it.
agree on that.
Fantastic.
Bill Hader, I cannot wait for him to make a true film.
He'd be great as Reed Richards.
Ooh.
He's been a pitch of mine for a long time.
Wow, that's a great pick.
That'd be great.
He'd be I've never thought of that. That'd be a
good.
perfect
There's
pick.
other roles he could play, but I think he'd be good as Reed.
I think he's a very underrated director. The way he directs
Yeah.
the shit out of that show.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
It's always so tempting to go on a tangent. Risk Runner 101. I love you both so much. We love you. We don't even know you, but we love you. You guys are incredible and amazing. So are you. There are a lot of films coming out this year. What is your most anticipated and why? Do you have a most anticipated? I'm weirdly curious about Indiana Jones for some reason. That always pops in my mind.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. Like, I'm really excited for Barbie.
Yeah, like
I think
Barbie.
Barbie looks really weird.
I weirdly have like those films.
Really weird. I like
Yes.
what Greta Gerwig makes. I wasn't big on White Noise, which she kind of co-produced with Noah Baumbach.
I'm turning off the super chats, guys, so you
sorry.
can't send more in, but we appreciate everyone who did.
That's
We want to
fine.
just make
We
sure we
appreciate
make
it. We love you
the
guys.
last rounds of them right now.
But yeah, obviously, I'm super excited for like Quantumania. I'm excited for Guardians Volume 3. I think of all the Marvel titles, that's the one other than Loki Season 2. I think Loki Season 2 is gonna rock. But
I forget. Is Guardian? I know Winter Soldier is like is that your favorite one?
Guardian in the past when I've ranked it, Guardians was my favorite, followed by Winter Soldier. I kind of go back and forth on them, but I still think I got to give the love to the first Guardians movie. I just love the.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's fun. I like that it's like a diegetic musical. I just think it's so wild.
Yeah, I love that one a lot. That is. I'm not a big fan. You like part 2 though, right?
I do. I don't like it as much as part 1, but I like it.
I'm not a big fan of part 2. Okay, we're gonna do this.
All right, we pass it.
We're good.
Eric, what are your thoughts on Cobra Kai season?
J-Dog, do you watch Cobra Kai?
No, I need to watch Cobra Kai too.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I got to check that out. I watched the very first episode of Cobra Kai, and I meant to stick with it, and I just got sidetracked.
It's fun because they're always shooting in L.A. and I love seeing like all these
I love seeing
locations.
LA
I know.
too. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I got a burger there.
Yeah. That's so I'm like, I used to live right there.
I took a shit there.
You live in L.A. You just take shits anywhere.
I pulled over after 4 hours of traffic to take a shit there.
J Dog, what are thoughts on Cobra Kai? Rockstars Rejects team up. This has been a good team up.
This has been a great team up.
It is like Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai fighting. I think I said in the season 5 at the end, I was like, I feel like they have one more season left in them, and so yeah, I think it's a perfect time to wrap it up. You want to go out on a high note. I know that can be some shows like to be. I remember one time the Walking Dead people were like, we could go for like 20 seasons. I'm like,
Yeah, no,
please
please
God,
don't.
don't. I think it's always best to end on a high note, and I feel like they got at least one more great season left in them. So it would be. I think after that, you're just stretching it out,
Yeah, I think so too.
and then it'll come back.
Time to go.
Bill Carnes, thank you, Bill Carnes. With the new Evil Dead Rise trailer, which got to you worse, the cheese grater or eating glass?
I didn't see
Eating
that.
glass.
That sounds awful. I didn't see the trailer.
You haven't seen the
No.
trailer?
No, I haven't seen the trailer yet. I was on my honeymoon.
Can you You could have taken 2 minutes
No.
to watch the most morbid trailer.
No.
You're like, baby, get over here. Stop eating that food. Get over here.
Yeah.
It's a disturbing trailer.
Okay. Oh, I'll check it out.
The eating the glass, that was the part that really got to me. The cheese grater didn't even really bother me because I'm a sick human being. Bryce Burras. Have either of you guys watched The Last Kingdom? I have not, but I
No.
see it trending all the time. Have you seen it?
No. I don't know what it is.
But we appreciate the super chat.
Thank you, Bryce.
Natalie. Thank you, Natalie. Mephisto.
That's right.
Does that really follow you around?
Yep.
Does it bother you?
No.
Because you've kind of like coined. Like,
I earned
Mephisto's- there is a way where you are somewhat like within the comics realm because of it now. That's amazing.
I love him. I mean, I thought that my what I was known for was kind of already locked in like a few years ago, like 2018, 2019. I'm like, I'm just going to be someone who's known as like a kind of a movie analyst, comic book YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And then WandaVision happened. And then I transformed into this guy who was obsessed with Mephisto. And I'm fine with it. I think it's totally fine. I've embraced it. And I think it's a good thing that we all look around every dark corner for Mephisto.
I cannot wait to see your video when Mephisto actually does come up, supposedly in a show later on this year.
He already has.
Yeah.
He already has.
He's already been there.
He's there. He's been everywhere.
Yeah, WandaVision kind of changed the game for everyone. I feel like
It's not in camera.
you can't see it, but there's a big WandaVision poster. It's one of my favorite
I was
posters.
pointing to Batman.
yeah, there's a giant ass WandaVision poster back here,
Yeah.
displayed. Haunted Autumn. Lately, my life has been scored by the running out of air theme. This collaboration has been the air bubble I needed. Thank you. # Sonic
Oh
reference.
no, that's what they're referencing. That was a long time ago.
I'm glad we he knows it.
Yeah, it's in my head. That music is playing in my head.
Do you have a theme song?
That's
That's the theme song right there. Mr. Thank you, Haunted Autumn. It's really kind. Mr. Flickster, hey guys, big fan. Y'all inspired me to start my own channel.
Yay.
Really? Me? Not just Eric? Would either one of you like to collaborate with me? Got to hit up Eric. $300 every 30 minutes. it's worth it.
I'm making so much money.
Ask him on Cameo. You should get.
I should go on Cameo.
You should get a cameo. Oh
I
my
should
God!
go
Make
on
all that
Cameo.
extra bucks. You and Chris Tucker. Random. It's that part of the stream, Eric. Random. Do you think we're gonna get the MCU Fantastic Four casting announcement this year?
We better.
Yeah, man.
I'm so mad they didn't announce it at D23. They're just like, and Matt Shackman's here. Stand up, Matt. You're gonna be fired from this. No, didn't he get fired? No, he's still on it. Who did get fired?
not Fetty Alvarez. The fucking guy who did Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh,
John Watts.
Watts.
John Watts. Yeah.
Watts. So Matt Shackman just stood up in the crowd and waved at everyone.
It was already reported.
It was
in
already
Variety.
reported. Already reported. But thanks.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, they didn't announce it.
But yeah, they got it. They have Comic-Con again this year and D23. Don't let us down, Feige.
D23 is happening this year.
It always is happening this year. It's January.
They do it every other year usually.
It's really? It's not every year?
In the past, yeah. Although I was thinking there are Disney fans who are watching this right now. You idiot! How do you not know this? Is probably what they're yelling at me. I don't know. I was thinking because 23 would be 100 years of Disney was founded in 1923. That's why it's Club 23.
Got it.
And the D23 Easter egg is in a lot of things. Bucky's cell in Civil War.
Yeah. Okay.
Doctor Strange's
We've been hanging out a
variant
while.
listing was D23 in the Baxter Foundation. Yeah,
Yeah. It's good.
those are real Easter eggs. Those count.
Don't act tired.
I'm not.
We got a little more to go.
Okay,
We got
I'll
a little
stop
more.
acting
We got
tired.
a little more to
I still
go.
have a lot of energy.
We got this, Eric. Thanks for being here.
I love being here.
Mike Supersonic's been watching y'all for years now. This is so cool. Imagine how I feel in this position.
I feel great.
I feel better. I went from a guy watching you here to now you're here.
I've been watching you break down stuff and react to stuff. It's fun to be here. You set a nice vibe. You're a good interviewer.
Am I?
Yeah, you set a good tone.
Oh, that means a lot. Thank you very much. I just ask questions.
That's all you got to do. And sometimes you don't even have to ask questions. You just got to get the other person talking.
Yeah. And then nod my head and go, he's fucking really going off.
And then,
right
and then disassociate, go to your happy place.
Yeah.
Start hearing.
Like, I can't wait to eat later. This is going to be good. Sergio Mendoza. Hey, Eric, this should be your new intro to The Real Rejects. Welcome back to The Real Rejects. I'm Erik
Welcome
Voss.
back to The Real Rejects.
I'm Erik Voss.
Welcome back.
I just like your intro to New Rockstars.
Okay.
You do. You've never noticed you do
Welcome
that?
back to The Real Rejects.
You don't do that. You go, like you do a little.
Welcome back to The Real Rejects.
Yeah. I think, is your camera like tilted down?
No, it's
Straight
direct
on?
No, it is tilted.
It's tilted. That's why you're tilting, because you're doing that. And you're going, whoa.
And we moved the camera to a different room, so it's like even closer to me now.
Oh, good.
But when I put my hands at the camera, my hands get huge. I have to be careful how much I gesture.
Dolan Duck, will we ever see Ant-Man entering someone's butt? It better be the way he takes out Kang in Secret Wars. That would be amazing. Stephanie Horton, thank you for being here again, Stephanie. She's a lovely woman. You're part of our Patreon page, too. Looking forward to the deep dive. Subscribe weeks ago. P.S.
Thanks.
More of these fun crossovers on both channels, please. Well, Erik is barely a busy guy.
No, I would love to do this again.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You're in L.A. like every 6 to 8 months.
Well, I'm going to start being in L.A. more often. So every time I'm here, we'll make this a weekly thing.
Oh, my God. That would be wild.
Or a monthly thing.
That would be a wild thing, man. Yeah. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
And we'll prepare a real topic next time.
We don't need a real topic.
Yeah, you guys dictate it. Raccoon Shampoo, thank you again. Are you guys excited for Amazon's Fallout series? I am. Or do you play Fallout? I'm assuming you don't play Fallout.
I'm aware of Fallout.
That's good enough.
I'm aware of the game, and I'm aware of that Amazon's doing an adaptation of it. I will watch it. I'm excited for it. I think Amazon Prime Video does some good stuff. I mean, The Boys, Invincible,
Rings of Power.
Excellent.
You liked it?
That's my biggest regret content-wise from 2020.
Not covering Rings of Power.
We started covering it, and then we just got too busy.
Yeah.
And the Rings of Power fans got so mad at us, and they were right to get mad at us because we said that we would continue covering it, and I just got too busy.
That is
I loved that show though so much. That was so good.
I'm glad you loved it.
You didn't like it?
The
Dory's song.
That was fine.
Go to the long road ahead. You didn't cry?
I can assure you, I never came close to crying.
The Mordor reveal. The Mordor reveal was so cool.
When it said the text of Mordor,
I loved it.
You loved that?
I already knew from the geography of the.
I think we all did. So
the Southlands. What is South?
What's
the south of Middle Earth? Of course, that's where Mordor must be.
They just did it like it was a rock and roll show. Mordor. Galadriel. I don't remember the show well enough to even defend why I just thought it was fine.
So then just choose to love it.
All right. Yeah, that's how emotions work. Ben Raff. What both your guys' most anticipated Phase 5 project? For me, it's between Loki Season 2 or Daredevil Born Again. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, those are up there for me. Loki Season 2, Daredevil Born Again. Fantastic Four. I'm pretty excited for, especially with Matt Shackman directing it.
Yeah. That's Phase 5? That's Phase 6.
You're right.
It?
That's the start of Phase 6. I'm a fucking
You're supposed
idiot.
To be the fucking professional.
God, I'm so
fucking
stupid.
God damn it.
I think I would throw Agatha Coven of Chaos up there. I think that show's going to rock.
Not getting enough love. You know what? I'm going to give a real cliche answer. Deadpool. I want Deadpool and Wolverine. Is that Phase 5 or Phase 6?
Yeah, I think that's right before Fantastic Four.
I got to say, man. I feel like
that movie's going to be good.
That movie's going to be wild.
Yeah.
Dakota Jones. Hey, Dakota. Thanks for being here, buddy. Greg and the Voss Man. My gosh, how's it going, Erik?
Hi.
With Willem Dafoe announced to be in talks for Nosferatu, should he play the title role?
Yes.
Even though he played him already in Shadow of the Vampire?
Sure. I didn't know he played Nosferatu in Shadow of the Vampire.
Have you seen Shadow of the Vampire?
No.
Oh, fantastic
Right now, Greg's
movie.
going to yell at me.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Leon the Professional! Shadow of the Vampire!
I think when you see Leon the Professional, you're going to be like,
I'll start with that.
Should have seen Leon the Professional. Annie Banani, thank you for the moment of silence. Marcus Santos, you guys are my favorite YouTubers because I can relate to y'all. Have a good day, you two.
Thanks, Marcus.
That's our goal in life, to be relatable.
We're just, Yeah. We're just trying to, give you an excuse to be a nerd and to not feel ashamed of it.
I think you're knocking it out of the park, especially you, Voss Boss. Scott Newman, I called you nicknames, and then I've seen these nicknames in the break room, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I coined these nicknames.
What do you mean? What nicknames?
Voss Boss, King Voss.
Oh, yeah. People call me King Voss?
Yeah, it was all over the break room.
Oh, why?
I was told that I cannot address you unless it was King Voss.
Who said that?
I was told that I shouldn't make eye contact with you until we were seated and the cameras rolling.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
I think all monarchies are a form of evil.
Yeah.
I think all monarchies should be outlawed by, international courts, and I think we should go to war with every country that is a monarchy.
Fair enough.
Abolish their monarchies.
I think monarchies is necessary.
Fraternities and sororities are evil. Cults.
I think you need order and to sometimes tell people what to do.
And
the way to think and feel.
Yeah.
I think religion is
Yeah.
important and
Or-
should be implemented.
Private thought. Procreation.
I think procreation must always be happening at a constant basis, and there should be no prevention of such a thing.
Having
How did
really
this
loud
go from
motorcycles.
We went from you're relatable to
Loud motorcycles should be.
we've lost sight of the stream. Scott Newman, thank you, buddy. We're almost at the top here. Have either of you watched The Peripheral?
No.
I love a breakdown of that. Well, he'd love a breakdown to get to
Okay.
work, Eric.
All right, I'll watch it.
Make
I'll
those
watch it. I'll let you
editors
know.
do 50 hours of editing
I'll let
to
you
get
know.
The Peripheral done.
I love all the suggestions I'm getting here.
Oh.
Now I'm adding things to my list. I've really got to start Doctor Who though. God, I'm an idiot. for not
Doctor
watching that
Who.
yet.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I think you would really enjoy Doctor Who.
think I would
It's right up
too.
your alley.
I would love
And Loki, definitely. There were many times
Yeah,
when there's a lot of
yeah.
Doctor Who vibes in here.
it. Yeah.
Raccoon Shampoo, thank you again for being here, buddy. Is there a show where you're like, hang on, why am I watching this? Why am I still watching this? Whatever. I randomly started watching a butcher competition on the History Channel today.
Yeah. I don't know if I felt that way watching a show, but I have gone down several rabbit holes, usually daily, watching recommended videos of Gordon Ramsay in Hell's Kitchen, clips that I've seen before, and just like for whatever reason, the algorithm will just be like, you want some more Gordon Ramsay yelling at this specific season of Hell's Kitchen, and I will just watch clips again and again. I've probably seen the same clip like a dozen times.
I've been down that wormhole way too many times with YouTube. Walking Dead was a show I felt I had that conscious decision. Season 8 premiered, and I was like, I know what you're doing.
It was around season 8. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely lost interest in that show. I mean, we stopped covering it.
That was the first show I've ever actively been like,
It's just
I'm quitting.
A bummer because it was so good. It was so
was
good
great.
for
It's
a
phenomenal.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know.
well, it became it's.
fell off.
I've heard it got great again at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there were some great
Yeah.
arcs, some great episodes that came back, but at that point, I just would have to start watching again.
We're almost there, Eric. Jesse Grotto, Brodies. Much love to both of y'all. Both channels are really great, and I love you all. Are some great people. Love the vibes and keep up the great work. Best collab ever. Making
Thanks,
life.
Jesse.
What a lot of love and praise right there.
We love that.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
That should be all the super chats. What's with this? Like, hey, Eric, what do you think about Phase 5?
That's
Yeah.
okay. I appreciate the question.
I
That's
say
okay.
no, just praise.
Just praise. Thank you. Thank you.
Raccoon Shampoo. My formatting didn't quite work there. It did. We read it, but I appreciate
it.
the
We got
additional
there.
super
We got
chat to
there. Thank you.
clarify that,
Thank you.
buddy. Jay Swizzy, thank you for the super chat. Possible Fantastic Four Doom dropping Quantumania. There's a lot of rumors about that. Thoughts of us?
I think we do this every title. We're like Doom in this one,
Doom gonna show-
Fantastic Four in this one.
Doom gonna take over for Chadwick
I-
Boseman, Black Panther? Yeah.
I just don't. I think the only reference we'll get is a connection through like Kang's
Yeah.
family. It's the Richards dynasty, though. But I think other than that, I don't know.
Well, it's like crazy because WandaVision had a total was it WandaVision or Loki? It was Loki. Loki had the Fantastic Four ship, right? The director came out and said like that's the Fantastic Four ship.
What?
Yeah, it was Loki.
What?
Yeah, right, guys? Am I right about that?
What?
Guys in the chat, we still have the chat going, by the way. I see it. So I just want to make sure. Like they said that it was Loki, right? That where they had the ship that appeared at one point. You don't remember this? I think you pointed it
The
out.
collector's ship appeared.
It's a
in Loki.
collector ship. It
Which we had
wasn't
seen
the
in Infinity
Fantastic
War.
Four
I was
ship.
gonna say. I
Yeah.
was gonna say.
Damn.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, don't. It's fine.
Where's John? He's at home with his family right now. He's having a good day.
Let's get him in here.
John, take the chains off.
He's
Take the
at home with
take the
his
shackles off.
family.
Yes, you're right.
You mean his puppet show?
Who's he's right? No,
I'm right.
you need to clarify. Am I right or you're right? Are
I'm
you
right.
for sure right about that?
I did make a video about it, but
I don't know.
Whatever.
You haven't seen The Professional. Eric Marco Santos, do you know what My Hero Academia is? Do you?
I can't claim to be an expert in My Hero Academia.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my God, it's a phenomenal show. Phenomenal.
It's
anime.
recommended to me all the time.
It's like X-Men on crack. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's like if people accepted that there were mutants in the world. It's amazing.
Okay. A lot of you are probably surprised that there's a lot of titles that have come through here, and you're just surprised that I haven't seen it. Well, it's because I've seen all these other things that I have made videos about
Yeah.
so many freaking times
Well,
to
he-
make the best piece of content for you.
Because that's the thing is he'll spend hours, like sometimes 10 hours writing scripts because so, he'll watch one episode of a show and doesn't have time to binge other ones.
Yeah.
So Eric's just asking you kindly to get off his back.
No.
He's
Everyone
saying-
get on my back.
He's saying like he's
Everyone,
being hit
On my
up
back.
too much, and it's incessant how you guys behave. You're fanboy over him too
No,
much.
it's just be who you are. It's fine. I'm not going
He
to police
feels
any
like
kind of
some-
fandom.
You guys need to back
Fandom
off.
is fandom. I am a fandom libertarian. We're not going to police it.
Alex Wolf from Hereditary's
Hey,
here.
man. Big fan of you.
Good to see you here, buddy. I like it a
You
lot.
do great work, Alex.
I can see everything Tez dispense.
Yeah.
Neil, what if we saw a Green Lantern variant of Deadpool?
What?
I think that would fascinating. Like a Deadpool
Interested.
is Green Lantern.
I don't understand the question, but I would love that.
John's in the chat right here. He's been listening this whole time.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Johnny.
Wow, John.
We're literally ending the stream relatively soon. I'm not telling everyone to fuck off. I'm saying that that Erik is asking for some distance here.
No.
And
No, don't give me any distance.
if you see him in the street, don't say.
Here's
hi.
what I want. I want my followers to give me the equivalent of that runner, or I think it was a stalker. No, it wasn't a clicker yet. Who plants that tendril kiss?
It's a stalker, yeah.
Yeah, because he wasn't
Yeah.
a full. He didn't have the full bloom yet.
Yeah, stalker.
But he did have half it. I think that's a stalker. Yeah.
Runner, stalker, clickers. The
The show
stages.
hasn't distinguished between stalkers and runners yet.
Yeah, because the show's fucking lazy. Just keep it alive here, Erik.
My
That's all-
God.
that's all I'm doing. Now, Lieutenant LT Smash.
Lieutenant LT Smash.
Neil Gaiman should write something in the MCU, the most ethereal thing.
You should have written Eternals.
He
wrote
would
Eternals. He
have
would've
been a
met
great
that
Eternals
Eternals-
writer. That is good. That is a good call.
Look, the Furpos did a good job with that script.
They did. I know you liked it. That was the first. That's when I met you, Eternals.
That's right. That's when the first time we met. Yeah.
and I vehemently disagreed with you about it. You kept your mouth shut. I was like, maybe Eric's on the same page as me.
I said maybe. I
Then I
said it's
turn on-
interesting.
Then I turn your goddamn video, and I'm like, what the fuck? He's praising the shit. We had such a difference of he didn't yes and me at all there. He just didn't say anything in response to me.
Silent.
Jackie Almas, thank you for being in the moment of silence. Connie saying, we know Connie, she's a friend.
Hey, Connie.
What a nice stream to come home to after a long day of work. I sent random fact. I sent JBL to new Rockstars crew. JBL like headphones and
Yeah.
mic stuff. That she sent that to you. And poor Zach's car got broken into, so I resent all the product.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I still use the JBL headphones.
Thank you for sending those, Connie.
Nice.
Nice.
Zach,
I think many of our team still uses some JBLs.
Zach was wearing a Real Rejects jacket today.
Yeah.
Which made me very happy.
And nothing else.
Nothing else. Schlong hanging out at all. That's what he called. Zach Schlong. Raccoon shampoo. Final question from me. What? Erik wants more from you. What's your favorite decoration in the background?
Right now?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh my God. Just
Do the Funkos count as decoration?
Sure, why not?
None of those. I really like this Heisenberg.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
This was made for patrons. It was John and Greg is you can't see it. It's the camera's not auto focusing. Maybe if I get
Yeah, turn that autofocus on.
right close, get my face camera there.
Oh.
Hey, you can no.
No,
No,
it's the camera prefers
I gotta block
me.
Eric's face. Prefers the white man. There, right there. There. I hopefully you guys caught the photo. Let's see here. That's great.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Sometimes if you read the chat at the same time, your mind goes a little bit crazy. All right.
Disassociated. The cats are getting rowdy.
I know. They want my attention.
Come on, come here. We'll play. I love you.
Yeah,
He said, "Fuck off." That's why I love cats.
You're so aggressive. I love you.
That's what I do to my dog.
You're a DJ turntable, aren't you? I love
fucking
you.
love you. I love you. Love me.
He's like, I don't know who you are. Yeah, I'll say that one, Raccoon. Rupert Jameson, RRR deserves more awareness. Movie of the year, in my opinion.
I need to watch that, and I want to break it down.
I am shocked it was not nominated.
I
Even
want to check it out.
I am shocked it wasn't nominated.
Okay.
Shocked. Utterly shocked. I think you'd really like it. It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
It's long. It's fun. It's like 3 hours.
I'm okay with it being long.
You like long stuff.
I love long stuff.
That could be an
Long,
innuendo. Zach, are you in the
Long,
chat?
Thin stuff.
Hi, guys. That's how he pitched me when we said we should collab. You got any long, thin stuff at your home? Alexander Vesterberg. Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, Alexander. We're good.
I'm good. Eric's hanging in there.
I'm just warming up.
Yeah.
I could do this all day.
Thick Tracy. Erik Voss is the Homelander of YouTube.
See, I don't know if Thick Tracy is a big fan of me. Thick Tracy's Thick Tracy's the one who said that I fake my reactions, and I think you're calling me a sociopath, Thick Tracy.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't think I've taken some tests. Not a sociopath. I do have probably some disorders, but
You got a narcissistic personality disorder, is what you're telling me?
I'm not homicidal. I've never fantasized about lasering a crowd of people.
Oh. Well, I thought we had something in common there for a second, Eric.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, that means that one of us just has bigger ambitions in life.
Okay.
Well, let's yes and this. Let's keep going.
No. I'm not going to yes and this just because Thick Tracy gave you $2 to be mean to me.
I've had way worse in this chat about me. I'm like, you're a weird guy to keep setting $5 just to keep insulting me.
Whatever, you get the money. That's good.
Vocon, is episode 3 the best one yet? You get way more comments on a daily basis. You should be like way more used
I
to
just
hate
watched
comments
it
than me.
today. It's very emotional. I mean, I really liked episode 1 of that show a lot. But yeah, of the 3 that I've seen, I think episode 3 is my favorite. I don't know if it'll be everyone's favorite, but it was my favorite.
I think what's in it will cause a debate.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll cause a debate too, but not like an insane debate, but a debate.
It'll cause a debate. I think it will.
Yeah.
Josh P. Vito. Eric playing Greg Straight Man is fantastic.
What?
No, it's over there. Josh Pavito. I don't know what that is, but they're surprised that we're here. That's good to hear.
Okay.
Eric, we're at the top here, my God.
We did it.
Quentin Randell, moment of silence. Thank you. Last question. Here we go. Samil Badenfeld. Eric, we're going to make this question count.
Okay.
Eric, any chance you, apostrophe L, cover any video game stories on the deep dive? Eric, the Spider-Man game has a really good Spider-Man story. Eric, the evolution of MODOK in the Avengers game is really unique.
Yes, there is a chance that I will be doing video game content.
Count.
Because here's the deal. I'm calling it the deep dive, and we're not going to limit ourselves just to movies.
Sure.
At the start, it'll be a movie analysis channel, but over time, I'd love to expand that out to cover all kinds of things. Video games, graphic novels,
Documentaries,
music videos, TV episodes. Like, I would love to do a deep dive just of the dinner party episode of The Office.
What about televised Christian sermons?
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about the ones where they do like parodies of like Marvel movies and like?
I'm just talking about pure like Joyce Myers.
No, there is I can't remember the name of it, but there's a really, really funny creator who just kind of reviews things, and she's just so matter of fact, and she's not like mean about it, but she did like a reaction that's like an hour and a half long to every year there's some church in Canada that does like Easter performances.
No
that
way.
Do the Christ crucifixion story, the resurrection story, but like do it in the style of Star Trek, and they do like parody songs.
Oh, that's sacrilege.
They're giving it their all. Over the years, some of their jokes haven't aged very well, but these performers are really, really trying hard. And she made a video reacting to it. I gotta find it. I wish I could remember the name of the creator. Someone in the comments may know. We'll see. I'll try to think of her, but she's so great.
Guys, look, we peaked at like 1,700 to 1,800 viewers.
Holy smokes!
And then now we were ending it with 1,000.
There's 11 million of you watching right now, and we love all of you.
11 million people.
Holy smokes, guys!
This was a good stream. We, I think, did you enjoy your time here, Eric?
I had a blast. This was great.
Are you tired?
No.
You don't have to lie.
Let's keep going.
Oh.
Open up Super Chat. Let's keep going. I really do have to use the bathroom. I've been sitting on a bucket of piss.
I will let you go to the bathroom. Don't you fret. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everyone for being in the chat.
Thank you.
One last request. If you guys can just leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. 11 million people here. We broke the internet.
This was fun and unexpected and spontaneous. But thank you guys so
This
much.
was a blast. Thank you,
thank you.
John's
John.
best friend,
I'm
Greg.
John. I'm John's friend. That's where everywhere I go, people are like, "You're John's friend, aren't you?" Like, that's me. That's what my family calls me. And Eric, check out his channel, The Deep Dive. When does that premiere?
February 17th. We're going to have 5 videos launching the morning of February 17th.
That's a lot of
Deep
videos.
Dive Everything Everywhere All at Once, WandaVision, Loki, a live stream breakdown of Quantumania, and then an interesting investigation of how trailers are lying to us.
You won't be able to watch anything else that day because
No.
5 videos.
No, it's not
for
like a
Deep
major
Dive.
Marvel movie is coming out that day.
No.
What the fuck was I
There's
thinking?
gonna be no competition
God
for anyone.
Damn it. Why did I pick that day?
Just no one else gonna have Ant-Man videos
So
going up.
Stupid.
On that note, thank you, Eric, for being here. Thank you guys
Greg,
for being
having
here.
me. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
And
It's a lot of fun.
I'm going to officially end the stream now. Oh, nope. I need that thing to end the stream.
Yep. Get it back up.
And we will talk with you